Infatuated with the in-between, the ups and downs, the curves and the rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt cool 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt cool 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
And we are back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm West. This guy's David. And we are here to give away free t-shirts and have fun and drink beer. And Devin Ross is on here twice. Devin Ross is watching on Facebook, and he's watching on YouTube.
Okay.
So Devin, welcome.
Hold on. I got the ding dongs going here. Hold on a second.
There we go. Ding dongs.
There we go.
Turn the live cast.
Yeah, can't have that. I got people there. It's there. Okay, so let's address the pimple in the room. What happened to your face, bro?
Adult onset acne, which is always
adult
fun.
Onset acne. Yeah.
Everybody
gets it from time to time.
Which is what happens when you are overly stressed because you're running your own business and you don't sleep anymore because you're running your own business.
Yes, indeed. So what are you drinking over there?
Tis the season, so I'm drinking Great Lakes Christmas Ale. Delicious stuff. And actually, the reason I bought this isn't necessarily because of the season, but John Callender gave me some brewer's grains from his home brew he did, and I asked him what style of beer it was. He said the flavor profile is similar to Great Lakes Christmas Ale. So he gave me the grains so I can make a custom batch of dog treats for his dog, and I wanted to get a flavor for what it should taste like. So I'm going to make some custom treats with a new recipe that I'd like to match this flavor profile. So that's what I'm working on.
Okay. So
and if it's good, I will have these available after the new year, if it's good.
Nice. So I brought home 7 bags of regular Underdog plus bones,
peanut butter
under West bones, and a couple of cinnamon or apple crunch, an apple cinnamon.
Yeah, you
and
got the apple
pumpkin.
crunch, you got the apple bacon, and you got the pumpkin spice.
Apple bacon, pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice is one. Pumpkin spice beat out apple crunch, which previously was her favorite.
Yeah.
And beat out apple bacon. She's basically just a basic white dog now. That's what she is. She's just giving my pumpkin spice treats. Don't give me the other stuff.
Good to know. Okay, so
pumpkin
pumpkin spice is a winner.
Pumpkin spice is a hardcore winner. Now,
and you've smelled them. They actually smell like pumpkin spice.
They smell
delicious.
Freaking delicious. Even Nikki commented on how good they smelled.
Yeah.
And that's saying something. I'm like, here, sniff these dog treats. normally not something that you do, but
right. Normally dog treats smell terrible.
Yeah, in this case, it worked well. Noah's back home now, and he flipped her. We have they're still better than like a regular dog treat, but we have some other ones over there when we ran out of the Underdog bones, and he gave her one of those. She took it, dropped it, looks back up like, all right, where's the real one, man? What's going on here? You see those other bags? That's where my stuff comes from. Don't reach into that. Those are backup bones.
That's funny.
But that's good. That's my dog is very picky.
They do smell really good. I mean, I got to admit.
More they smell so good.
So that's one of the things that goes into, it's so time consuming developing these new recipes. Because I actually spend time developing these recipes. I'll do batch and batch and batch until it's just right. So, I mean, that's the reason it takes a long time to make these. Yeah. Nice, good flavor. I have not eaten them. But I'm sure if we asked Noah nicely, he would give us a live. He's in college now. If that's the worst thing he eats, you're doing okay.
Yeah. They're definitely healthier than a run to Taco Bell, I'd say.
Well, the kid does like his Taco Bell. By the way, remind him to put his Venmo in the comments, and we'll put it on the screen. For everybody to Venmo Noah Leffingwell some Taco Bell money because his father doesn't feed him. He's back home. He's back home now, so. Actually, I think he still got my Chase card. I need to get that back. Apparently, he needs a new TV and Taco Bell, as all growing young men.
Devin sent a photo. Let's see here. What's going on?
I don't see a photo in the comments here, but he says his dog prefers eggnog flavor. Devin says his dog prefers eggnog. That'd be really cool. I don't know how I would make that flavor.
Photo is covered to protect you from unwanted content.
Who? What?
What? I don't know what's going on. But
Devin sent you unwanted content?
He said, I don't know what he sent over to me. He sent me a screenshot of us on the thing here. But Facebook said, no, man, that might be unwanted content.
Yeah, so unwanted content. You should see the amount of spam the spam I get in my Facebook inbox. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's nonstop. And it's all dumb stuff about people claiming to be Facebook tech support who are going to shut down my page because of copyright infringement. It's not. It's literally just scammers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
Shelley
you
Webb
got the
says,
Christmas ale.
Shelley Webb says, is there cat litter flavor? You know what? That would do really well.
Yeah.
For some reason,
Yep.
that's like Tootsie Rolls to dogs. They love that stuff.
Indeed. I'm trying to open my bottle here.
Devin said he sent a screenshot of him watching on the mini player on YouTube and on Facebook. So apparently Devin's really trying to get this free T-shirt.
Okay, yeah, hey, that's what it takes. Okay. Oh, there we go. I love that sound. So this right here, to get into what I'm drinking tonight, is it's called Yellowstone Select. Let me put the lid back on that so I don't pour it on all over myself as I turn it around so you can see.
That looks good. You were talking about that.
I've had this bottle for over a year. And I literally just opened it for the first time. Because I've been seeing it all over my bourbon, and shockingly enough, I've only seen a couple of them on my bourbon channels, but I've seen a ton of them on my cigar channels.
Okay,
so
Yellowstone.
So apparently it's very popular with my cigar crew. So
I'm going to.
No, this is who does distill this. Put a lid back in it so I don't spill it on myself, because I have done that. Limestone Branch Distillery in Lebanon, Kentucky. So down there with the tall cedars, I guess. If you get that, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's okay.
I have no idea what that means, so I'll take your word for it. You could be talking about inappropriate adult content for all I know. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's
Masonic. It's Masonic stuff. Don't worry about it.
I was asleep during that meeting.
No, see, that was the meeting where we argued whether we were going to spend the 50 cents here or 50 cents there.
Oh, so literally every single meeting.
Every single meeting. So I'm going to try this a little more, well, the way that a regular human being would try a bourbon. That's to start with it neat and out of a Glencairn. But never fear, I've got my Donald Trump 45 glasses from the wine and whiskey bar at the Trump Tower in New York City with a big ass ice cube in it ready to go.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
And just in case I don't like it, I've got a backup bottle of E.H. Taylor here ready to go to. So
yeah, there's no shortage of bourbon at your house.
No, I was just going over it. I started thinking like, man, that's a lot of bourbon. And I know that my current wife walks in here and goes, man, that's a lot of money. But she's at a football game right now, so I know she's not watching, so I can say this. She has no idea.
I've
no idea.
Yeah, I've been with you when you come into town for short periods of time and you go to the cigar shop or the liquor store. I know I have some idea. So, but considering the number of times she goes to Disney throughout the year, I don't think she has any room to talk. Yeah. I'm just saying.
She doesn't pick on me for it, but I can feel the judgment. I can feel the judgment from her side of the bed.
Well, that's just called being married. That's
yes.
That's what that is.
Yes. 1 out of 5 stars, can't recommend. This is what happens when I know she's not watching.
Nikki's a lucky lady, David. Watch her comment. She's at the game watching the show, just waiting for you to say something like that. She's at the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New England Patriots game down in Pittsburgh. Is she a football fan? Tonight. Is she a football person?
She's big in football. She likes the Buckeyes, the Ohio State University Buckeyes, and she's a Pittsburgh fan. So, I mean, she's pretty, I guess. The Buckeyes are good, but Pittsburgh, come on, man.
Look, I'm still hung up on the Ohio State University. If they can trademark the in their name Ohio associated with sports, and which they actually do,
I want to do it. I want to do it for the Underdog
associated with marketing and
podcasts,
business,
just podcasts.
Just
podcasts.
Yeah,
they got it for sports. I want it for podcasts.
Look, they set the precedent. I don't see why we couldn't pull it off.
Yeah. So this bourbon right here, there's like zero burn to it whatsoever.
Really?
Which is probably why it's so popular with the cigar guys. It's like literally like zero burn to it.
Yeah.
I would love to have a cigar right now.
You said she's not
freshly cut.
You said she's not in town.
Yeah. I said she's not in town, not that she doesn't have a nose.
She's going to smell it from the football. She'd be at the game.
No, she'll smell it when she gets back. So let's see here. I've got
David's
an
smoking.
octagonal box press Plasencia Alma Fuente cigar right here.
Good stuff.
And a good deep V cut on that sucker. Soak that in that bourbon right there.
Good
light it up good and
stuff.
soft.
Hey, David, what you need in that room, you need one of these rapid air filters. These things are like magic, I'm telling you. You just literally watch the smoke go into them and fresh air come out the top. They're magic. Even Jeremy Sires said they work great. So
yeah, they are. And so, but he's done a couple different things, Jeremy. So if you guys don't know who he is, he's another YouTuber almost as famous as we are.
Almost.
But he has a couple of inlet vents and then two high, I think like 850 CFM fans that pull air out of his room and take it outside. So it doesn't really make a difference whether that thing's on or not. All the air that's in his room is getting replenished in a minute.
Right. Well, yeah, his setup is a little bit more advanced, but I have one of those Rabbit Air, and they're great. By the way, Craig Walter's watching. Walter.
Diesel Red Label tonight.
I don't know. Is Diesel a good bourbon? I don't know that one.
That's a cigar.
Oh, well, I apparently don't know that
I've got a couple Diesel cigars.
I don't know Diesel cigar. That sounds great, Craig.
So this table, you can't really see it too much. That's my bowl for my ice. That's my backup ice. But this table right here, this table is actually a humidor. And then I've got the tabletop humidor right here, and then I've got a 3-drawer humidor underneath it.
You got a pretty sweet setup.
So it is pretty cool. So this is the cigar area right here. But it wouldn't be bad. I was going to say that I'm going on vacation next week. I'm leaving on Sunday, going on a cruise. And I'll get back the following Sunday, I believe. And we get back, I told the wife, like, hey, when we get back, I want to move down into the guest room. And first of all, it kind of took her by surprise. Like, what are you talking about? You're gonna I'm sorry.
Moving out of the master bedroom.
We're going to move to the guest room because I'm going to start demolition on the bathroom in our master bedroom because there was a leak, and I don't want it to get any worse. So I want to demo the whole thing out. We were already wanting to do it. It was going to be one of the last things on our list to do in the home reno. So it was on the list. It was just at the other end. Well, now we've just kind of sped it up a bit.
Of course.
So when we're doing that, the bedroom extends over top of this, my office here. And there's a board over here that's loose I got to fix. So when I'm doing that, I'm actually thinking about putting in a vent that comes out of this room and just takes air from this room straight outside.
Yeah, you totally should.
That this room has a negative air pressure at all times.
Right.
So if I do that, I can stand here and have myself a cigar or a pipe, and it just pull the smoke right out of this room. So
right,
I think that's what we need to do.
I think that's a grand plan.
She ain't watching to disagree, so I'm just going to take that as a agreement.
She's not telling you no right now at this point in time, so no. That's a yes. Apparently,
if you won't want me to, just tell me.
I don't hear that.
I'll drink to that.
That's called man logic, is what that is. By the way, Kim Howard is watching. She says, "Hey y'all, hey Kim, how's it going?" Y'all. And Craig, by the way, since you're watching, we need to get together for a smoke sometime. It's been a long time, man. I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, I'll be back in. Hold on a second. I think I put it in on the other calendar, but I think I can remember what day it is if I look at a calendar here. January. I'm busy in January, but the first week of January, January 3rd, I will be in Columbus. January 3rd. So maybe we'll move the podcast to Wednesday night, do it from HB, and we'll do podcast there. And
Make it happen.
We can cigar lounge that night.
That sounds perfect. Make it happen. Craig, if you're not available, tough, we're still going to be hanging out in your garage smoking cigars. So
yeah. Instead of going to La Cavetta or anything like that, let's just head to Craig's spot up in Dublin.
Exactly. I
think it's a great thing.
Willie Melkin says, tell the wife, happy husband, open credit line.
Tell the wife, happy husband, open credit. No, that trade up. No, I'd rather be grumpy and keep my money.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah. Let's go with that one.
So, no comment there, but yeah, I totally agree.
Man.
What's that?
I have fully embraced the grumpy old man. I even, I looked at myself in the mirror and said, look at this beard. You're grumpy. You need to go get a flannel shirt. Boom.
It works. I've been wearing flannel for years. So
yeah.
Now I just wear sweaters. I'm graduating into the elder old man phase of my life where I just, after this, I'm going to lose the cardigans and just wear bathrobes everywhere I go. That's it.
You need sweatpants and suspenders.
See?
Yeah, I mean that's got to be at least a week or two in your life. Sweatpants and suspenders.
Sweatpants, just a white undershirt and suspenders.
Yeah,
That's it.
white undershirt, white.
With maybe like a stain down the front.
Yeah, it's got to be a stain. I mean, well, I'm a fat guy, so it's going to be a stain on it anyway. It's going to have a stain on it. So you ought to see me. I get in here cooking, and just before I start cooking, I always go and take my shirt off. Not. I'm not sitting here.
Remind me never to eat at your house again.
Chested.
That's
bare chested. No, I just take it off where I've just got my white T-shirt on underneath it. Because
you're putting a lot of really weird images in people's heads right now of you cooking in the kitchen with no shirt on.
Dave making candied bacon.
Is this how you entice Nikki into a wild night of frivolity? Hey Nikki, check me out cooking without my shirt.
Check this out. Watch me flip this pancake.
By the way, Laura Lyons Black says never tell a woman. Open credit.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, so that did work. So now we're going to put it on this big ass ice cube here.
So the Yellowstone is good, is what you're trying to say. That's good
Yellowstone's
stuff.
good, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd really like to have it with a cigar. I think it really would pop with a cigar.
You know, I know it sounds like hoity-toity, but I really like a cognac with cigars. I think cognac, depending on the cigar.
We did that. We were at Buffalo Cigar Club, and you were like, "You got to try this," and you ordered a cognac.
Yeah.
For our cigar. Well, one of our cigars.
That's really the only time I drink cognac is with a cigar. Because I'm a snob, apparently. So we're going to talk about things that... So how did you find the cognac? Did somebody else recommend it to you? Well, I just like to try different things. So I went through all the different liquors, cognac, Armagnac, which is very similar. So basically they come from distilling grape juice, essentially. Kind of distilled wine, essentially.
A port.
Not really, no. Sort of, but that's essentially it's distilled grape juice, and super tasty. Frangelico with cigars, yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. Ooh, who recommended? Oh, that was Craig. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, it's on one screen. It hasn't made it to the other screen yet.
And Gabe Chapman, what's up, Dave West? Hey, Gabe, how you doing?
Oh, hey, Gabe. Frangelica and cigars. I haven't tried that, but I'd like to. So, what about port? What do you think about port?
You know what? I like a port. I like a port if I'm eating. I'm not going to sit down and just sip on a glass of port, in my opinion. It's you know what? I like a port if I'm eating like something kind of savory, like a steak, something like that. It's really good accent to it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I'm not really just going to sit and drink a glass of it.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't either. It has to go with some stuff. So I don't remember what restaurant I was at because I love port.
I love port too.
And completely accidentally. For those of you guys who don't know, I don't hear very well.
What?
At all.
Huh?
So I'm at a restaurant and I'm ordering. We're there, and there had been a couple of libations imbibed, let's call it. And the bartender, the waiter comes over and he's asking him around the table. I can't hear him. I can't hear. He gets over to me and I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll have one." I have no idea what he's talking about. I figured I was going to get a dessert.
Just smile and nod, and
a couple other people were getting it. I'm like, cool, all right. And
nice pink martini.
Apparently it was like, we have a dessert. And he looked at me and said, "Would you like to have a port?" Apparently that's how it went down. So everybody else got a dessert.
And you get a port.
And he brings me out. And I don't know if for our viewers, if you've ever ordered a port on purpose, it comes in this little teeny tiny, and this is a 750 milliliter bottle. Right. Okay. So I have relatively big hands. So, you put a 12-ounce can in my hand, it's almost completely gone.
Right. You holding that bottle of bourbon is like me holding this bottle of beer. It's the same proportions.
Yeah. So he brings out this dainty little teeny tiny.
You look like Gandalf drinking a tiny little glass of.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. From The Hobbit when he's drinking the wine that the dwarves gave him, and I pick it up. It's
like, oh, that's.
And in my head, I'm going, what did he say? What did I agree
What did he just bring me?
And what is this?
I'm surprised he didn't shoot it.
And luckily somebody, I was going to, luckily somebody goes, "Oh, you drink port." I'm like, "Oh, okay. All right. So we're getting somewhere." And I'm like, "Well, I've never had it before, so I thought I'd give it a try." Being the salesman, quick thinking on your feet. And we start talking about it. Apparently, it was the one I got was an Audi. It was a 12-year tawny port, not a 10-year. What difference that makes, I don't really know. But I had it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I like this. It's not bad." And then I wanted some more of it. It was gone because again, it's this little teeny tiny. I mean, and again, big ass hands and these little teeny tiny glass, and it's crystal stemware, and it's the top. I mean, it's nothing to it. If there's a half an ounce pour in this thing, I'd been shocked. But here I am with my big man mitts, and trying to drink this thing and not look like an idiot. I failed.
It's impossible.
Dismally. Yeah, you can't do it. So now I order it. Now I order it on purpose before they can trick me with their language that I don't understand.
Oh, the large, please.
Words that I can't hear. So now it's like,
give me the venti.
Do you have a port list, please? The venti. Yeah, give me 20 ounces of port.
Shelley Webb says boats and hose.
Boats and hose. Okay, you never did explain that. So, now I'm off track. But no, so that's what happened with me on. That's how I got into port. That's how I got into port. And at first, so that happened shortly after you and I did our first trip up to Boston, or the trip up to Boston where we had the cognac to bring back for Devin there. The cognac.
Well, I normally say cognac, but it's
some cognac.
I like to go with my champagne.
A nice glass of cognac. Your champagne. That is funny. I like that.
That's how you should order from now on.
Yes. So, West, okay, I got one more tangent before we dig into news and before we get into our topic tonight.
Sure.
One more random thing. Tonight, before we had to push the show back by a half hour.
Okay.
We actually, turns out we didn't have to. I didn't have a lot of details on what was happening tonight, but the daughter was at a choir concert tonight.
How was it?
Oh, it is a sixth grade choir concert, man.
It sounds super entertaining.
It is a blast when it's your kid, but I will never invite anybody at all. Hey, we have a choir tonight. You want to come see this? No. You want to get excited. You cheer for your kids, and you do.
Right.
And I, for where they are in their education and their experience, I think is great. The little fifth grade band thing they had going there, I love it. I love music, mainly, especially when it's like orchestral, instrumental, because there's no words for me to miss. Because again, I can't hear. So I love music, and I walk in and I see my buddy on the other side, Mike on the other side of the place where I walked in, and Noah's like, "Hey, there's Mike." I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna go sit right behind him. And he's sitting there fiddling around with his stuff, and this place is almost completely empty at this time. All right, and I just flop right down, making all kinds of noise, flopping right back down. And he kind of looks over at his wife. Can you believe this guy? And they turn around and sees it's me.
Right.
So he was on board with it. Now, they gave us all these pamphlets, it's in my coat pocket, that basically told us not to take flash photography, don't stand up, don't have conversations, don't take away from the kids.
Right.
Okay, fine. Well, unfortunately for Mike, he was struggling with his phone earlier, and he couldn't get the flash on.
Mm-hmm.
So his daughter, who was up on stage at this time now, took it and turned the flash on for him.
Oh, man.
And he'd been recording video up to a certain point.
Okay.
And then he's like, I want to take a picture. So he takes a picture, and the whole place lights up.
He's the only one.
And he's sitting right in front of me, and I lean up. I'm like, I don't think anybody noticed. You could just see him. You could see it was pitch black dark in there. You can see his face turn bright red. Is the chuckle and him and his wife just chuckling. And it was absolutely hilarious. So I highly recommend screwing up when you're at your kids' choir concerts.
I'm sure I'll have opportunity for that at some point.
Yes, you will. Oh, you're in Dublin, so I don't know about Dublin, but I know Worthington's. And
they're pretty serious.
You know what? If you know one, you know them all.
It's the same. It's all the same. Yeah.
They're all
no,
dead.
there's
They're all dead serious about
yeah.
it. It's good
The
stuff.
only thing that changed is what kind of car the parents drive to get to the place. So Kirsten Carnahan, my current wife, says classic Mike.
Classic Mike. Yeah. So Mike's the one who got me. Which bottle is it over there? It's over there somewhere.
You got basically a full bar.
But I don't want to grab the TV or the TV, the
TV.
camera, because I've got my iPad. It's attached to it here and everything. But
you got basically a fully stocked bar over there.
My bourbon selection is better than almost any bar I've ever been to. That is not true. That is actually not a lie.
Right.
I travel a lot of places, and they'll go, "Oh, we're almost out of Buffalo Trace," and that'll be literally the top thing that they've got. And it's really no fault of their own. It's assholes like me you buying a bottle of bourbon and drinking it.
That's true. Shelley Webb commented, "I remember making Blow Me Glitter posters for my brother's band concerts in high school." That's pretty funny.
I
need more context on these posters. I'd like to see a photo.
Nope.
But,
I think we just leave them. Whoa! No pics.
Yeah. Well, look, this is a family show, Shelley. Let's keep it clean.
Come on.
That's Shelley.
So what was it? We were talking about just going off on the random stuff earlier before the show, and you just threw out an example, and off the top of my all right, I got it in reserve. We're ready to go. All right, we're good. I remember what it was. It's not time for it. Now's not the time. It's got to be somewhere where it's completely and utterly random. So
yeah. So look, there have been some random tangents. Random tangents on this show, and that just reminded me of one of the random things that might come up. So David, I don't have anything news-wise that's not political. Everything is political now. Everything is political.
Very much so.
There's nothing that I can say that's not political.
So. That is correct.
Willie Melkins apparently knows Shelley. So he wants to know how the Shelley Webb that he grew up with is doing. So
let's see here. Oh, look at the Underdog journey, bringing people together.
It's true. We're
That's what we do.
Community show.
We're a community.
We're the show of the people. It's we need a big red flag behind us.
A big what?
Big red flag.
Oh, big red.
We're the people's show. We're for the people.
Okay, I got you. Okay. So
it does tie with communism. It all goes back to.
It does tie in with the communist.
It all goes back to politics. All right. So I don't have anything political. We do have sort of a topic. We have apparently a T-shirt to give away. So
we do have a T-shirt to give away.
Are
we giving away that T-shirt?
I got a screenshot of this T-shirt here. I think people might like to see.
I love it. Let's see here.
Hang on, if I can get there. You guys see it? I can't. There it is. So this T-shirt is Elon Musk's famous quote now, GFY.
Yeah.
And so we got this in white and gray, with, of course, the Underdog logo on the back there, which I think is a nice touch. But, we're going to be giving this away. So, David, last week we mentioned people should watch. So we actually used a random number generator, and we chose at random one of our past shows between the number one and now of people should go back and watch it.
I didn't even go back and watch it.
Yeah, I watched like half of it.
Go back and watch it.
I watched like half of it.
Okay, good.
But I did in the agenda. I sent you the show notes of that of what we were talking about. So I used a random number generator, and out of all, it's funny. Out of all the shows that it picked, the random number generator, it picked episode number 42.
Yeah,
which is classic in itself. I can't believe it picked 42.
Yeah, 42 is great because that's the answer.
That is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So we'll ask some questions around that all stuff. But so that was perfect. Also, that show happened to be about Dogecoin, which Elon Musk sent almost to the moon. So it all kind of ties back together. Look, it's all related.
It did work out. Well, so I was wondering because I was reading the show notes for today, and I'm like, why did he put that in there? I'm like, are we going to be talking about Dogecoin tonight?
Did you forget?
I'm like, all right, go back to Doge. Yeah,
you don't remember the end of the show last week where we were talking about that?
I remember now that we're talking about it, but it was a little hazy at the end of the show last week.
Yeah, that happens towards the end of all of our shows.
Yeah.
Every one of our shows by the end is pretty hazy.
We were live for that one, right? We were side by side for that one. Oh, yeah, definitely. It was hazy. It was hazy.
Yeah, you had like 4 liters of beer that night.
I was like 4.5 liters in. So
you had a couple.
Yep.
So, so I'm
okay,
actually
so we
gonna
have
try and
replies.
find-
Now we got replies coming in here. Let's see here. That's the blow me glitter thing. Yes, that is the same. So William, I believe we called him Willie in high school. So
Willie.
That's Willie. Yeah.
So I don't know William Elkins. I assumed he went by Bill or something like that. But so to refresh people's memory, I'm going to go ahead and play, and hopefully the audio actually plays this time because we were having some audio issues last week. Play the video from Elon Musk saying GFY to Disney. Now, little context here. Basically, what happened was Elon
this
Musk,
isn't political at all, by the way.
Elon Musk made a tweet that some people interpreted as anti-Semitic. Whether you think it was or not, that's a whole different subject. But in response to this, people saying his tweet was anti-Semitic, he went on a tour of Israel with Benjamin Netanyahu to kind of prove to the world, hey, I'm not anti-Semitic. I love these people. And in response to that, Bob Iger of Disney, CEO of Disney, pulled all of their ad dollars from X, formerly known as Twitter, and came out in a press conference and said, well, given what was said, we don't really feel comfortable doing business with this company right now. And this is a conversation that Elon Musk is having regarding that whole
What's funny is I know Bob's smarter than that. Bob is smarter than this. I don't know why.
Bob has done a lot of really crazy political moves.
I know.
Look, I think you're giving Bob too much credit. He's an ideologue. He is
very good at business,
politically driven, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
He'll never admit to it because I know he's one of your icons. But look,
he's a genius.
He's a business genius, but I think he's letting his political views get in the way of good business. Look at Disney's profit margin lately.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, everything's political. You can't say anything without it being political.
Yeah, we can't talk. Yeah, it talks political. But we talk about the impacts of the politics on your bottom line, and that's where it highlights, and that's where it starts to shine through. And when investors are losing millions and billions of dollars because of your political views, now you got a problem.
That's what I'm saying. So here is Elon Musk's reply to Bob Iger.
What was that trip like? And obviously, that there's a public perception that, and you're clarifying this now, but there's a public perception that was part of a apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself.
Look at the interviewer right now. He's not sure what to say. He was not expecting that. He's like, how do I come back from this?
But
go yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
So the guy clearly doesn't have. He has not read the book, the Elon Musk book.
Who Bob hasn't
read? This is completely this interviewer.
Oh, right.
Yeah, probably Bob Iger too. But this interviewer hasn't read that clearly, because if you read that book, this is right down the alley. I mean, this is right down the middle of what you expect.
Well, when you have the ultimate amount of FU money, you can just do this.
Yeah. Tyrants. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you then.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
How do you think then about the economics of X? If part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift, maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is the one part of your business where you will be beholden to those who,
all right, pause.
Have.
We're paused.
Okay.
Yeah.
He actually said something there that's very, very important.
Yeah.
And it's the fundamental shift of X away from advertising dollars as its primary source of revenue.
Right. So
which is something that Elon has not been hiding. It is something that he is intentionally pushing towards.
Right. And a lot of people are thinking that this could actually be the start of some trouble for him as the leader of this company, because like it or not, he does actually have a fiduciary responsibility to make money for his shareholders. So
this
could be problematic.
So does Disney.
Right.
Doesn't
So does
stop
this.
them.
Right. And we've seen how they handle it. In fact, Disney, at least behind closed doors, has said GFY to their shareholders.
Yeah.
This view,
All right, play.
what do you do?
GFY.
Look at his face. GFY.
I understand that, but there's a reality too, right?
So that's where GFY came from, and that's
So that's where the GFY come from. And back over to the T-shirt.
back over to the T-shirt. All right, I got it here somewhere.
Back over to the T-shirt.
Here we go. So we made the GFY Elon Musk GFY T-shirt.
Yep.
There we go. You're gonna get one of these, and we haven't actually brainstormed on how we're going to tally up points. So we're probably gonna just kind of make this up as we go along.
Absolutely. Okay. So what are we doing again? Is it a quiz? Is that
That's
what it
the
is? We're doing
thing.
a
So
quiz?
originally, you and I said that
Okay.
it should be based on trivia from episode number 42, which was about Dogecoin.
Episode number 40. Yep. Dogecoin.
So,
Okay, great.
David, I sent you the show. You and I didn't really watch go back and rewatch the whole
We
show
don't-
between then
We
and
don't
now.
need to watch it. We lived it.
But I did send you the show notes. So I think we
Yep.
should ask some questions about Dogecoin and about Elon Musk and just maybe some other random stuff that we feel interested in.
Right.
And we will
Yes.
just, between the two of us, come up with who the winner is. And we're going to give this T-shirt away. By the way, David, you and I do have T-shirts ordered, but everybody watching, just so you know, this is a print-on-demand T-shirt, meaning when you order it, they print it and send it directly to you. It takes a little bit of time. So, David, our shirts will be here on the 13th. That's when they're due.
Okay.
So you will have yours right around then.
I'll be on a boat, so it can take its time.
There you go. All
So
right.
next week during this show, I'll be doing this show from the balcony of my my cruise cabin.
Yeah, so that's your level of dedication. You're actually going to do this show while you're on vacation on a cruise.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually do. So I've already done it once on a cruise before. I've done it from a balcony overlooking Clearwater Beach. I've done this show from some really weird places.
And I've told you, you
know,
don't
I
have
did
to do this. You're on vacation. I can do the show solo. You don't have to.
Nah, we need to get Willie Elkins on here and run the show with you.
Yeah. I don't know Willie Elkins personally, but he sounds like a stand-up dude.
Stand up, dude. Yes. All right. Let's start with this trivia here. For all of you out there, I mean, for all the people commenting or all the people watching, you got to comment. We're going to ask you questions. If you don't know the answer, make it up. We probably don't remember.
Yeah,
either.
and don't cheat. Don't Google it. If you don't know the answer, come up with something ridiculous.
No,
leave a
Google it. Come
comment.
on,
Let
man.
us know what you think.
Yeah. And we're going to arbitrarily at the end of this find out who made us laugh the most or who was really spot on the most. Most likely going to be whoever made us laugh the most. And that's who's going to get the T-shirt.
I don't know. I think spot on. It's a difficult thing because if you know the actual answer, don't make a joke answer. Just give the actual answer.
Yeah, if you know the answer. So if the answer's there, it's going to win. The likelihood of that happening, though, to me, is very low. So, in lieu of that, I say, if you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit.
There
Let's do
you
it.
go. So I'm going to start off with just a little bit of context around Dogecoin. So back in 2021 was really when Dogecoin started to take off. And then at a certain point, Elon Musk came and said this quote, the most entertaining outcome of the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future. And that kind of seems like he was actually joking. That doesn't actually seem like a serious comment, but he left that on Twitter. And because of that, people said, oh, Elon Musk loves Dogecoin. He wants to be the currency of the future. And people invested like crazy. It just like overnight shot up from like fractions.
It made me some money. So
it shot up like from like fractions of a penny up to a high of 74 cents, which a lot of people thought it was going to hit over $1. And
yeah,
it's just insane.
I was hoping for over $1. It didn't happen.
It's just insane. So, the funny thing is, other big celebrities were starting to get in on this. So, celebrities like Snoop Dogg, of all people, Kiss singer Gene Simmons, and even Mark Cuban started investing pretty heavy in Doge. And believe it or not, there were some people who invested real heavy and then sold right at the peak. And man, I mean, people made millions of dollars off this. It was nuts.
Yeah, there was potential for massive amounts of money to be made there.
Right. So,
there's still potential for people who held on to it.
You know what? I did hold on to it. It's
I know,
not
that's why I said
quite
that.
gotten back to remotely the level that it was at. I kind of want to share my screen here real quick. Hang on, let me bring this
Yeah.
up here. It's
I haven't
taken a bit of a dip since I purchased, but we won't say how much I invested. I'm stupid. All right.
stupid. My wife watches this.
All right, so you can see it almost completely flat, and then suddenly Elon Musk's
0.09.
tweet hit,
Yeah.
and it went up to 74 cents, and it fell off pretty dramatically.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is it never went back down to fractions
Well,
of a
that was
penny where it was before.
Yeah, it's still up.
Right.
Yeah, it's still up.
And you know, if you look at certain things like over the last month, it's been gradually going up slightly.
Yeah. Who knows?
Over
I
the
mean,
last 3
this could
months,
be. I mean, Elon Musk is actually has talked about turning X into a more of a everything app, financial and everything. This could be part of it. I mean, it's a possibility that we may see another huge surge in Dogecoin. Damn it, I'm gonna have to buy Dogecoin again. Son of a biscuit.
Well, and
Damn
so that's the funny thing. I don't think Dogecoin has. Dogecoin does have a few weak spots where I don't think it will ever be the big world-changing coin that a lot of people thought it was going to be. One is it doesn't have quite the utility that other coins like Ethereum do. So, like Ethereum, one of the reasons that's so big in the NFT world, boy, that was a big, interesting piece of technology.
Yes.
Is that Ethereum allows
money.
Is that Ethereum allows for extra pieces of metadata to be attached to it, like URLs and things like that. But also, one of the soft spots in Doge is, other coins actually have a cap where they say after this period of time, no more coins can be minted. Dogecoin doesn't have that, so it has the severe possibility for inflation if it ever did take hold in society as an actual currency.
It would have the same risk that we have under the reserve system right now.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Not to get political, but our current fiat currency system might have some similar soft spots.
Yeah. Between the you know what? Moving on. I kept hunting for a way to say it that didn't get us right into politics, and there's just nothing to it's done. Moving on. Okay. Moving on. So, Dogecoin. So now that you guys have a general, hopefully everybody rushed back and started watching on their other screens, episode 42.
You know what? So let's ask some general questions about Dogecoin. Not specific about that episode, because part of the problem is like all of our shows, there's a lot of weird tangents that don't go anywhere. And really, those are the things we should have studied and made questions about.
Yes. That would have been good. Here's
an easy one.
A squid with 3 boobs.
And again, random tangent. Very random tangent. All right. So leave a comment.
I gotta give credit where credit's due. Where credit's due. West actually came up with that.
As I was mimicking other people.
And I said, I'm using that tonight on the show. I'm going to find a spot where that works, and I'm going to use it. And I guided the conversation and hinted from this side and that side to guide it down the tangent line so that I can have an opportunity to say, look, a squid with 3 boobs.
You're a real puppet master, David.
Yes. Indeed.
Dance my puppet. All right. So, first question is not about Dogecoin, but about the show where this is a long time ago. This was back in 2001. This is not for you, David. This is for other people to leave a comment down below. Because I know they're hearing me in real
2021?
Time. 2021, not 2001.
Oh,
2021.
I'm like 2001. If we said the word podcast, people are like, what are you talking about?
What? A pod what?
Podcast?
Are you in outer space? So,
God, I wish we'd had a podcast in 2001.
Back in 2021, on episode number 42, where were we doing the show from? We were live. Where were we doing the show from? David, you can't answer. And here's the problem, David. As we're asking these questions, people can't hear us in real time. There's a delay between when they hear us and also when we see their comment.
So I just raised my hand. That's how much of a delay there is on the show. So from the time that I raised my hand, from the time that I don't know how you guys would measure that. It might have been a completely useless observation.
Most of our observations are completely useless. So
yes, indeed.
It's funny though.
Can time it. Yeah,
we're on episode. So I think we should add a little banter between these questions to give people some time to answer in the comments. So the question is, where were we doing the show from on episode number 42? And I think what might be taking people time is they might be going back to look up the show
Yeah.
That's cheating.
Yeah.
That's cheating. Even if you don't know the answer, leave a comment because you still can get a point. But David, today we are in episode number 178. That's insane. Can you believe it?
178.
178. We haven't missed a week.
Dude, we have 22 episodes to get 200.
We started this during the pandemic because we were just looking for something to do, to get out of the house and drink some beer and not wear masks. And this is Craig Walter says Matt's basement with chickens free ranging. That, you know what, that wouldn't surprise me. That totally seems like something Matt would have.
Free range chickens in his basement.
Shelley Webb says Southern Exposure.
Southern Exposure, I believe, and don't correct me if I'm wrong. That's a gentleman's entertainment facility. In West Virginia.
That's a funny name for a gentleman's club.
So it's great. I think it really is a great one. Now here's the problem. Here's the problem with this place. It was maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes from my son's college.
So he's been there.
So I
he's been there just like you have.
So I haven't been there. I tried to go. I'm taking him down. I'm dropping him. What was it? I had to go do something, and I met him down there. Maybe taking him back. I don't remember what
Southern
it was.
Exposure?
But no, I was taking him down to college.
You drove him there?
First,
good parenting.
Yeah. So we go down there, and I don't remember what it was, but I said, "Hey, let's go to Southern Exposure." He's like, "No, I ain't going there." I'm like, "I mean, you can't drink, but you can go."
No.
I'm like,
dude, you can't go to an adult.
The value of $1.
You can't go to adult entertainment with your parent. You can't do it.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
I wouldn't see him. I can sit on the other side. Here's $50 at once.
Hey, Dad, can you buy me a lap dance?
Man, I'd do it. Father's Day special. There you go. Yes.
Dave, the aristocrat. The aristocrat was mere blocks from MU.
Marshall.
Is the aristocrat another gentleman's club?
I don't. Is that a gentleman's club? Is it still there?
Craig Walter says
I don't come to
Father's Day
Huntington
special.
often. I don't come to Huntington often, but if there was one nearby, can I smoke a cigar in there?
The aristocrat seems like the kind of place
awesome.
you'd smoke a cigar. A little more high end than Southern Exposure.
The Southern Exposure. Tonight on the Underdog Journey, ratings and ranking of your local gentlemen's entertainment facilities. Oh.
So David Mattia, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I have no idea. I apologize, David.
Yeah.
Insofar as telling investors to GFY, is that really something that should be celebrated or emulated? Not necessarily investors, but I think there's something to be admired about the bluntness. It's something you don't see in society today, especially in business. So I'm not saying I would do it to my investors. I'm just saying I admire the bluntness.
So I get it. I agree that there's a time and a place for it. I celebrate his actions or the result. The wording could have been better. I'm not, you invested here. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is our contract. You're going to operate within our contract. If you want to terminate our contract, that is your call to terminate the contract. That's how you say that. We all want to say GF, go yourself. Right. We all want to say that.
And that's the point. And so David Mattia, I hope I'm pronouncing that the right way.
The guy makes a really good point.
You make a great point.
While we have been celebrating, there are other and most likely better ways that you could have handled something. That the question that posed him to say go F off, go F yourself. That is, there are other ways to get to the same point.
Right.
In a more business, because again, he does have a responsibility.
Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. We mentioned earlier that Musk might actually get into trouble for this with his on an organizational level, because he does have a fiduciary responsibility to make money for his shareholders. So David, you're right.
Every time you say fiduciary, you got to drink. All right, that's just a rule.
Fiduciary. He puts the douche back in fiduciary. Again, David Mattia, if this is your first time watching our show, I apologize. This is not a normal business show.
This absolutely, Oh, okay. I thought you said this. I thought you were going to try to tell him this was not the normal way it goes. This is exactly
how our show goes.
This is not a normal business show. This is a lot more loose and a lot, little bit of information and a lot of bourbon.
So to answer the
Or
question,
beer.
no, I would say
Sure.
not celebrated or necessarily emulated, but I do personally appreciate the
Yes.
bluntness because he kind of said what we
Yes.
all wish we could say if we all had FU money.
Yeah, FU money.
Honestly,
and that's really
if-
what stemmed this whole thing.
Yeah, and that's what it
was
comes down
FU
to
money.
is if everybody had FU money, tell me you wouldn't be doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's certain things. Now, from a business standpoint, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. If I was in a closed room with them, yeah. If I'm doing an interview and they're not there, probably not. It's not how I would do it. But anyway,
And that's part of it too.
Um,
Like I think if you were in a closed door, or even a conference, an actual business conference with Iger, he probably wouldn't have put it that way. He probably would have said, you know what, fine, don't advertise with me. And he probably would have hung up and walked out. He probably wouldn't have said GFY. He might have. I don't know.
I don't
Anyway.
know, man. Have you read the Musk book? I've got it.
No,
I
I haven't read it.
was looking around for the physical copy. I don't have a physical copy. I have a digital copy. Oh,
You
I've
should,
got
you
a new
should keep
book.
it
It's
on
the-
your
it's the
bookshelf
other
right
side.
next to the Bob Iger book.
Right. Yes, I should put them in. I'm gonna put them in. I'm gonna build a ring, like a boxing ring. I'm just gonna set the books in there and just see what happens.
That's pretty funny. Tear each other to pieces.
So, yeah. Bob Iger, man, I get it. He's got some political things, but still, what he did with Disney in his first section there. So, Bob Iger's focus when he first got in there was a lot of acquisition stuff that he wanted to do and a lot of organizational stuff that he needed to do, and he got that stuff done.
Well, you know
And
what?
now now he has to do the exact opposite. Do you know? Actually, I won't go to that conspiracy theory stuff, but
Look, I'm not going into conspiracy theory stuff. I'm just saying Disney's bottom line right now is not looking so hot, David.
No, it's not. And no, there's very few people that are. Wait, do I want to go E.H. Taylor or do I want to go back over to the Yellowstone? Yellowstone was pretty good. I'm
Yellowstone
gonna stick
sounds
with
pretty
it.
good. Yellowstone sounds pretty
It was
good.
pretty good. I'm
All
gonna
right.
stick with it.
So this is a number I mentioned just a little bit ago. At Dogecoin's height. Now, don't Google this. Don't. If you're cheating, we'll know. At Dogecoin's height in 2001, May of 2001, how much was it selling for? How much was it? So that's your next question. We're not going to reveal the winner of the previous question. We're going to keep track internally. So the next question is,
Wait.
how much was
Wait, did
Dogecoin
somebody
at its height
answer?
in 2001?
Oh, let's see.
Devin Ross
here.
says Yellowstone sounds good. Craig Walter says, we as a country elected. I probably should. Don't, Craig. We can't put political stuff on
No,
the
don't
screen.
put that on the plastic. Come
I already put it on.
man.
I already put it on the screen. I didn't. I expected
Oh,
Craig to be
delete.
more
I'm gonna
responsible
cover
with
it.
his
Nobody
comments.
sees that.
Craig,
Come on,
Craig, come on. You're going to get us in trouble. People are going to
No.
people are going to come back and say, "Is that the kind of comment that should be celebrated or emulated?" And we're going to say, "Craig Walter said it. Don't blame me."
Yeah, you put it on. So just so you guys know, if you put a comment up, Wes does
I will-
not have a filter. We do not have a person over there checking these things. He's got other things going on the screens. It's click and put it up there.
I have like
immediately.
3 other things I'm looking at. I just see a comment and I put it up. So I do know a couple people that I specifically am
Yes,
trying to read their
John
comments
Callender,
first. John
yeah,
Callender.
John Calendar's there. We have to watch those comments. So
Devin Ross
and
says-
we can't stop anything here.
$1,000 a share.
We literally just said it earlier in
He
the
wasn't
show.
listening. So Devin Ross is
You didn't
watching
even
on.
have to go back to episode
Devin
42.
Ross is
We had
watching
to
on
set it in
both
the show.
Facebook and YouTube, and he still wasn't paying
And
attention.
still got it wrong. Still got it wrong.
William Elkin says 0.0000000 many zeros 421, which is probably pretty close to what it was before Elon Musk said he likes it. Devin Ross says, in 2001.
not quite. I would have loved to have bought at that price. I would have loved to have bought $1 at that price.
Right. So here's another one. These are all great guesses here. You guys should have been paying attention. I will come out and tell you the right answer though. In this case, it was 74 cents was the right answer. Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty much right when I bought it. Right when I bought in. So good for me.
I bought in a little lower than that.
I remember we were sitting in that that diner right after the fishing competition, and we were looking on Robinhood.
No.
Are you sure?
It was battling. We were in the vet, and we had just done the show down at the National Corvette Museum, the NCM Motorsports Park.
I remember we were in a diner. I thought it was after the
so we
fishing
were
competition.
at the diner for breakfast, and we were looking at it. We're like, we got to get in. We got to get in. We got to get in. And then I used to have a E-Trade or whatever it was account.
I signed up for Robinhood right there to buy some Dogecoin.
Yeah, so I was trying to get into Robinhood. I'm like, all right, I'll just log. Everybody loves Robinhood, and I love the app now too. But I was trying to get Robinhood, and I'm like, download. It's like, well, you need to authenticate this. I'm like, son of a bitch!
I gotta buy some Dogecoin. Hurry up, man!
I need to buy Dogecoin. I kept watching Dogecoin go up and up and up. I'm like, I'm authenticating. I'm right here. This is me. I'm a human. I'm not a robot. Give me my Dogecoin. So yeah, that's how that went down. And it was a good time. It was a good time.
All right, so David Mattia, again, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Actually, he's coming in with some good comments here. Should we celebrate FU money attitude of each and every one of us? If each and every one of us subscribes to that attitude, does that make us a better society? Does that bring us closer to who we should be, whom we have personal?
I'm going to rename this guy Marcus
personal
Aurelius.
Responsibility to be to each other. You know what? So I think he brings up some very good, very serious points. I think.
No, we don't even need his last name. From now on, he's going to be known as David the Stoic.
David the Stoic. So David the Stoic. I think you bring up some great points.
He's got great questions.
Very, very
great
good
comments.
questions.
I love it.
And look, I think we could do a whole show just on the ethics of business. I think business ethics plays a big part in it. Even personal ethics, really.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm just thinking of Billy Madison. Business ethics.
If you combine them, you get the bethics. So when you're discussing the bethics, look, I think if everybody had FU money, obviously society couldn't function that way. We couldn't function materially if everybody had that much money. It's just not how things work. But look, I think it would definitely reinforce the idea of personal responsibility, which I feel like we are lacking as a society in a lot of ways right now. You can say anything you want. Actually, I think Elon Musk actually kind of is illustrating this perfectly right now. You can say anything you want at any point. However, you should understand that there are things that will arise depending on what you say. I mean, yeah, I could go and swear at somebody on the street, or I could go and make fun of their weird haircut, and I should fully expect them to punch me in the nose if that were the case. I'm not saying it's right that I said mean things about them, and I'm not saying it's right that they punch me in the nose. But if I say that, I should kind of expect it. So yeah, I don't think we should all celebrate the FU money attitude. But again, I think the bluntness with which it was said, it strikes true to a lot of people because you don't hear that kind of honesty, frankly, very much anymore. You hear people, hemming and hawing and coming up with the right words to be politically correct. And I think in a lot of ways, some people are getting kind of tired of that. They want to hear somebody just tell them how it is, even if it hurts their feelings.
So I'm of the opinion. This is not actually reflective
Devin
of
Ross is
anybody else's opinion but mine.
Devin's hoping for double points today.
I wonder what the delay, whatever the delay is on both of it. So the Stoic should be. It's not there. Okay, wait. What we got here? I got more of that comment. Yeah, David the Stoic really stirred up some good stuff here. I like it.
Yeah, no, he has great. I mean, we do again a whole show on every one of his
Billy
comments.
Madison, yes, yes, Jelly Webb's on it. All right, now I got somebody on my level here. We get some Billy Madison comments. It was a business.
We need more
ethics.
Adam Sandler quotes on this show. We don't have nearly enough.
Yes, there really should be. So, you're talking about the books, and I don't know if you ever heard of this lady named Mary Beard.
No.
Check this book out. Now, I have literally just started it.
Okay.
And this lady
history
is
of
like
ancient.
a historian.
David, how often do you think about ancient Rome?
So my wife came to me and asked me that question.
You're literally like living the meme right now.
My wife came to me.
Holding up
My wife
ancient
came to
Rome.
me and asked me that question.
That's hilarious.
If you read it, oh my Lord! I'm only
now
a
let
little
me
bit
tell you about
into it
Marcus
right
Aurelius,
now.
David.
Okay, so I
Speaking of
get
the
every
Stoic.
day I get stuff sent to me from Marcus Aurelius. So come on, man. Come on. So anyway, back to Billy Madison. Okay, so the answer was 74 cents. You guys should have gotten that. I'm woefully sad that you didn't because we actually said it. West actually said it earlier, and you missed it. Okay, question number 3.
All right. Well, hang on. So Greg Walter actually says the Stoic. I agree with where we should be is not there. I'm just not sure how we would all respond when we keep getting called. Okay. Anti-Semitic or name that we
you get hammered. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep up the comments and make actual. So anyway.
Yeah.
Ancient
This
Rome,
is going to
David.
devolve. We got to be very careful. This is going to devolve into a full political show. And that's
we
not what
can't
want.
have
We want to
that.
stay. We want to stay as close to business and away from politics,
Which is
We
really
understand
difficult,
that-
especially when discussing
Yes.
Bob Iger versus Elon Musk.
Yes, and we're honestly trying to look at it from a more of a business standpoint and less of a political ideology or ideologue standpoint. So let's just question number 3.
Question number 3. I got to come up with question number 3. Okay, question number 3. Here's a good one. Okay, so on what platform was Dogecoin originally used as a system of tipping?
Oh, see, I don't know this.
David, I don't think you know this off the top of your head.
Yeah, I don't know this one off the top of my head. Wait a
So
minute.
originally, Dogecoin was devised as a way of just leaving little tips for somebody who left a comment or a post that you agreed with, that you liked. You just leave them a couple Dogecoin. It wasn't worth anything, but it was just kind of a cool way of saying, hey, I like what you just said there. Craig Walter said Uber. It should be.
Uber.
Devin Ross says OnlyFans. That's a good one. David, I still think we need to start an OnlyFans page where it's just us doing this show. It's just this.
Just this.
It's literally, we'll just stream it at the same time we're just doing this. Oh, Devin Ross says Reddit. Reddit is actually the correct answer. Devin, did you know that or did you look it up?
Tell me you looked it up. Tell me you were smart enough to cheat. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
But we said no cheating.
I didn't say that. You've said no cheating all the whole time. I said go for it.
Fair enough. I like his first comment of OnlyFans better than the actual answer, though.
Okay. So OnlyFans wins that round.
Craig Walter actually has a much better answer to my comment earlier. OnlyFans if David cooking shirtless. Yeah, I'm never eating at your house, David.
I just take my over shirts off so that I don't get grease and stuff on them.
Sure. So you'd rather have grease on your bare chest? So you're trying to say?
T-shirt. I have a white T-shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
Always see white T-shirt. Always
We're not
with
judging,
a white T-shirt.
David. I just feel bad for
You
your,
are judging.
for your
I can
kids
feel it.
and wife.
Or when they have company over and I'm just like, oh, time to start cooking.
Right.
Boom.
Company comes
Off
over,
goes the
exactly.
shirt.
And
Right.
when they ask what you're doing,
What
be like,
is
how do you
doing?
cook dinner?
Yeah.
Come on, man. So Devin
Yeah, how
Ross
am I
says he
supposed to
actually
get-
uses Reddit, and he knows they use a lot of useless trophies on the platform. So yeah, that's totally right. It's actually Reddit.
I've heard of Reddit. I've never used it.
Yeah, it's actually a great marketing platform. So if you're looking for if you have a business or a product service, it's actually a really great place to find a community, because there are Reddit threads for everything you can possibly imagine, right? And if you want the inside scoop on any field, like any marketing, any product or service in the universe,
Really?
there's probably a Reddit community for that. And if
Okay.
there's not, you can make one, and then you're on the ground floor of that. But basically, it's a great way to get your name out there, meet the community, learn all the inside tips and tricks and information. And most people in general are pretty respectful. You're going to find the normal trolls, but overall, it's actually a really, really useful place.
I
Especially for
love
business.
trolls. I love trolls. I literally, like I said earlier, I don't know if I said it online or not, but I went through Facebook. I got so fed up with all the Facebook ads I was getting. Literally just was like, I want to scroll. I want to see people smoking cigars, drinking bourbon, building guitars. Those are 3 things I want to see right now. If it's outside of that, I don't care.
Yeah.
I went from 512 friends, which I have no idea how I did that, down to 98 or 97. And I went from liking and following so many pages to almost nothing. So now my Facebook page is actually just filled with stuff I care about.
Yeah.
And stoicism quotes from Marcus Aurelius.
So yeah, Devin
Aurelius
Ross says has
Aurelius.
an insane amount of specialty hobbies as well. So like anything you can imagine, honestly. I mean, it could be underwater basket weaving. I guarantee there's a page for it.
Yes.
So here,
So he says he uses it for fire alarms. So he uses it for fire alarms, and then when they can't answer it, he calls me.
You should have called David in the first place.
I've got exciting news. My son is going in for an interview tomorrow at a fire protection company.
Oh, he's a shoo-in.
Not necessarily, not necessarily. But I'll be excited if he does get it. I will be through the roof.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for him.
You know,
That's a great industry.
I know if I've enjoyed my life in here, and I've told him, I was like, it doesn't have to be your life. You can do this, and you can pay for whatever schooling you want. Because the pay for these jobs now is insane.
It is. You're right. Look, I was telling
Insane.
somebody just the other day, like, find a hands-on specialty field like fire protection, like yours, or even like electrician, something along those lines. I mean, it pays. You're going to be making six figures in no time. I mean, it pays really well.
For the lower end position, which is where he's going for, they start at $60K.
Right, starting at $60K. That's
starting.
Awesome. Oh my gosh! Can you imagine?
I'm actually, if I see this going forward and it seems like he's going to have a shot at this
I'm going to
job,
go back to that.
I'm going to call him up and be like, "You're not offering this kid $60K. I don't want this kid having that kind of money yet. He doesn't know how to be responsible with $10K. He sure as hell's not going to be able to be responsible with $20 or $60K.
Do not do that
so
to your son.
I'm going to go in. And I'm going to.
The boy needs to make a living. He needs his Taco Bell money.
I'm going to kneecap it.
No.
No. Starting pay of $60,000 is no.
No effing well. If you need, if they need to call your father for whatever reason at a job interview, I don't know why that would be the case. Have him call me. I'll pretend to be David, and I will just automatically pretend. I'll pretend like I know way more than them, and I'll be like, no, it's you can't pay him $60K.
So much
you need
Taco Bell. Shelly got it nailed right there. So much Taco
and I'll tell
Bell.
him,
That's
don't
$60K.
You can't pay this kid you can't pay this kid just $60K. You need to pay him at least $70.
You're not going.
So I'm going to tell him that. And
no. So it's between 60 to 80 to start in this field now, and I'm sitting there going, gee, many Christmas. I can tell you how many decades it took me to get to those types of numbers.
I remember when
Craig Walter, 60K is a lot of trips to Southern exposure.
Yeah, I'm not putting Devin's comment on the screen. Devin.
Oh, where's Devin's comment?
It's right before Craig's. I remember when I graduated college. Some of the kids who graduated and made 40 grand.
He must have commented over on YouTube.
Yeah, it was YouTube. So some of the kids who graduated and started making like $40K out of college, like they were basically millionaires in our minds. Like you couldn't make that kind of money coming right out of college. And he's going to start out making $60K potentially. That's awesome. So Devin got the right answer. It was Reddit. That was the right answer. Alrighty. So here's a tough one. Here's actually a tough one. I'm going to start with an easier one. Here's an easy one. Very easy. What TV show did Elon Musk come out after he made his famous tweet and Doge took off like crazy? What TV show did he then come out on in like less than a week and call Dogecoin a hustle? And it really it hurt. It hurt Dogecoin immediately. Overnight, it tanked because he made this comment on this one TV show. What TV show was this? Leave in the comments. Let's find out. Do you remember that, David?
Devin Ross has got it.
Devin Ross got it right off the bat. SNL. He didn't waste any time.
Devin Ross is going to get a T-shirt, man.
I think Devin Ross deserves a T-shirt.
It's like the rest of you guys aren't even trying.
Come on, you guys got to come on. Craig Walter and Shelley Webb both have some pretty good comments here. So
yeah.
I mean, and we might need to send a shirt to David the Stoic just because he's making some great conversation here.
Yeah, he disappeared though. Where'd he go?
He got tired of our
David, if you're still there. David's there. Join in. Make stuff up. Join in.
Devin says, I know a lot about Elon Musk. All right, Devin. You want to poke the bear? Let's see you get this answer right. Here's a little tougher one. Okay. So shortly after, like within months after Elon Musk made this comment on SNL, all of crypto, not just Dogecoin, went into what they call the crypto winter and lost a massive amount of market share across the crypto board.
Bitcoin went from like 65,000 down to at one point down into low 30s. I mean, it is brutal.
All of crypto lost a lot of money. Now I'm not
crazy
relating all of that loss back to Musk's comments. We could have a conversation both ways, but the crypto winter did kick in. It's estimated that how much market cap was lost during the crypto winter. So, How much? Well, I'll take a percentage or I'll take a dollar amount. Leave in the comments below, and we'll see. This is a tougher one. The closest answer will win. Or the funniest answer.
All right. So over here he says, I call David first. Okay, so when he has questions about fire alarm, he calls me first, but I'm not always available. That is true. And he's got my personal phone, which for anybody who has my personal phone,
Which one?
Look at this.
You're Mr. Monocle over there. Which phone?
I don't. It's a phone.
Shelley
So
Webb
it's
says she
my
votes for
Samsung.
David the Stoic. By the way,
David Stoic. Nice.
Craig Walter says
Craig Walter
3.7
guesses
billion.
3.7B.
3.7.
Nice.
Any more guesses on this? How much market share was lost during the crypto winter?
Devin's still Googling.
He's got to look it up. It's his Google's. Devin, your Google skills are lacking.
Come on, your dial up is slow, bud.
Ooh, okay. So
Devin says 5
Craig
billion.
Walter says 3.7. Devin Ross says 5 billion. Any more takers?
$1, Bob.
Any more?
$1.
Shelley Webb says
And Shelley, no, it's
300%. I'm not sure you
300%.
can lose more than 100% of market share, but I mean that's a great. It's a great guess.
It works. Yeah.
Devin says I didn't Google shit. So fair enough. I think Devin ranks up there with people who know this kind of stuff.
No, you ain't cheating. You ain't trying. Come on, man.
We said no cheating. We agreed. David.
You said that the whole time. I've encouraged it.
Fair enough. All right. So here's the actual answer. Over $1 trillion in crypto market cap was lost. Just about 50%.
You can't say $1 trillion. You can't say $1 trillion without doing it, man. You got to do the pinky.
Hang on. I lost my screen here. Hang on. $1 million. $1
million.
$1 million. That was a great movie at the time.
It was. I really would like to see another one. I'd really like to see another one. I mean, they couldn't make it because it would suck, but I'd really like to see another one. I'd like to see it if Elon Musk bankrolled it and just said GFO.
Right.
GFY to everybody who said, you can't do that, GFY.
GFY.
Boom, here's another billion.
We should find out Elon Musk's address and send him a shirt.
Yes, I'm going to do that. I will find it.
Shelley Webb says, holy
All right,
crap.
I need somebody to text me tomorrow to remind me that I need to find the address for Elon Musk.
The things that we agree to when we're drinking bourbon.
Yes.
Craig Walter says, only a paper loss. Well, technically, yeah. But sort of. So here's the problem with any kind of fiat currency. Actual people invested actual money that was actually lost.
Yeah.
Now that money did go somewhere, but it didn't go back to the people that spent it. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Devin Ross
it went
says,
to me who cashed out before it tanked.
$1 quadrillion.
$1 quadrillion.
Well, that's going to be the
like
U.S. national debt soon. So why not?
Oh, come on, man.
We're not getting political. It's factual.
I was watching a thing the other day, a video that was trying to explain why the debt's really not 28 trillion or whatever it is.
Right. I mean, it's
really only $7 trillion.
I saw that too.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, all right.
Better.
So $7 trillion. It's still $7 trillion. That's not good.
That's not. I mean, that much money doesn't. I mean, that's a lot of money.
It's a couple bucks. I mean, I don't make that in 2 or 3 weeks. It's crazy. Anyway.
Okay.
We have a question number. Where are we at? So was that question? That was question 4.
I think so.
Or 3.
We're keeping track, people. We're keeping track. We're pretending like we're not.
Track.
We're actually keeping track.
We're on top. We've got a grease board over here. We've got equations worked out. Everybody's points is being tracked down to the nanobit.
we're using AI. ChatGPT is listening.
Now I think Dave the Stoic's messing with us.
Dave the Stoic. God bless Alexander Hamilton. Look, I saw Hamilton. I agree.
I saw Hamilton. Actually want to talk to this guy. I now actually want to have a conversation with this guy. Like just I want to set with Dave. Do you smoke cigars? Because if you smoke cigars, this is a conversation. I'm telling you, this guy is good to drink with.
I'll bet he is. I'll bet he has some. I'll bet he'd have some great cigar conversation. I agree. If we could get him down to La Chivetta or to Craig Walter's garage,
or I don't know where he's from. I don't know where what city he's in, but if we're in New York, we could hit Club Macanudo down there is my favorite. But hey Dave, where are you at?
Let us know.
Economists talk on macroeconomists talk on a deeper level. Because I don't believe that microeconomics exists anymore.
He says macro. He said macro.
Oh, he's in
economics.
San Antonio.
San Antonio. He's a Texas man.
That's cool. So I was okay.
But he said macro, not micro. Macro economics.
No, I know. He said that. So I think all economics now is macro. That's what I was getting at with that. But I was talking to West a little bit ago. I had a meeting that was supposed to be in January down in Dallas and area, which is not very close to San Antonio.
It's right next to San Antonio, really.
It's closer to San Antonio than I am up here in New York. So
fair enough. Slightly.
So to me, it's closer. But they changed the meeting, and these people changed the meeting in middle of January from Dallas, Texas to Chicago. So
yeah, that seems really smart. It's January. Let's not go to Dallas, where the weather is probably tolerable. Let's go to Chicago instead.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
Let's dodge bullets and frostbite at the same time. Come on, man.
Well, but think about it. Think how cool it'd be to watch, though. If you are shot, you'll just shatter like the T-2000 in Terminator.
The T-2000 in Terminator 2. Yeah. See, that's the problem. Is both of us immediately went there,
right? Exactly.
So no,
that's the only thing we thought of.
So is San Antonio? Is that where the Riverwalk is?
Yeah. Yeah, San Antonio is a good city. So the last time I was there, I meant to visit the basement of the Alamo, but I couldn't.
You were looking for Pee Wee Herman's bike?
I couldn't get directions to the basement of the Alamo, which we totally won, by the way. Mexico. I still say we won the Alamo. We won the Alamo.
I did not go to the Alamo when I was there. I did go down through. It was during the day. I was like, all right, cool. It's a sidewalk next to a river.
David the Stoic. Don't take Dave Leffingwell's comments too personally. He's not a real Texas man. He thinks Ohio has better barbecue. So
we do,
which was also.
I can't say we. I live in New York.
That was actually a conversation we had during episode number 42 about who has better barbecue. We had that during that episode.
It's in the basement. Dave, he was there.
He gets it.
He
understands.
He gets it.
He knew the assignment.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So all right. What we got here?
Next question. Now, I already mentioned this earlier in the show, So, Devin, you better get this because you're watching on two different platforms simultaneously.
Yeah, Devin.
What is the question to which the answer of is 42? What is the question? Huh?
Man, you hurt my head with the phrasing of that, man.
How else would you ask it? What is the question that spawned the response 42?
That when the random generator last week came up with episode 42.
The random number generator came up with that, not me.
Both of us immediately were like, "Oh, it's the answer."
Actually, Craig has both the correct and the incorrect answer. How improbable! What is the show it's on? He's right and he's wrong. Look, Craig, I agree. That's awesome. That's perfect.
That's a perfect dichotomy, sir. Perfect dichotomy.
Devin Ross says, "What is the meaning of life?" Do we have any more? Devin's close.
We're going to need a complete. We're going to need a complete answer on this.
Need a complete answer on this, Devin. It's very specific.
Yeah, this is very specific.
Very specific. All right. So the author, it's funny. The author, I actually met him once.
Oh, did you?
And man, I just the funny thing is I didn't have a full appreciation. I didn't have the fullest appreciation at the time of who he was. And I wish, looking back, I'm like, man, I wish I would have just sat and had a conversation with this guy if it were possible.
Do not put Shelley's comment on the screen.
I just read it. I almost put it on the screen. Shelley,
Mary Joseph.
Who are you? John Calendar? I can't put that on the screen.
Is John Calendar logged in
to Shelley's account?
John Calendar logged in under Shelley Webb. Holy hellfire. Shelley, you were on fire tonight. It's good stuff.
Shelley, I did go to a Baptist church growing up, and that is the correct answer in that church. Craig Walther says,
I was waiting.
Size.
Oh, man.
She says, I was waiting, LMAO. That's good. That's a good one. Shelley, I'm not adding that to the screen. So, if nobody else is going to answer, the question was, what is the answer to life, the universe, and everything? Life, the universe, and everything. All right, now you can. It might be too easy to ask what book that came from. Might be too easy. So I'll ask a hard question.
I don't think so. I think because one person got the answer, and so we know he's going to answer it. So we're going to give him half a point.
The other half the point is dependent on.
The other half of the point is dependent on somebody else answering the question. If somebody else answers the question correctly, he'll get a whole point. They'll also get a point. But if only he answers the question, he only gets half a point.
Ooh, that's getting tricky.
Oh yeah.
So
we have a Grease board over here.
What is the book that had the question? The answer to which was 42. He said,
Book/movie.
"What is 2001: Space Odyssey?" Now, look, while I do love Arthur C. Clarke, I don't think he was quite the author. And plus, he was 112 at the time of his death. So
I can't do that, Dave.
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
Daisy, Daisy.
How
does your garden grow? Which do not answer that question if you're at the Southern Exposure. We all know there are no gardens at the Southern Exposure.
Well, I mean, they're kind of coming back into fashion. Anyway, what were we talking about? Talking about strip clubs.
David got really distracted right there. And David the Stoic, he just left the show a long time ago.
Yeah, he was like, and I'm out.
Yep.
So, yes.
So,
indeed.
what is the... They're in West Virginia, Shelley Webb.
They're in West Virginia.
So, the next question, though, is what book had the question,
Chicken Soup for West Soul.
And everything? Chicken Soup for West Soul. That's not bad. I should write that book. Actually, I'm drinking Chicken Soup for West Soul, which is delicious.
I'm not sure.
Beer.
I'm not sure what her comment of "Go Roast" is on. I don't know whether it's on her comment or something we said. The delay really gets to us.
I think she's probably commenting on the Daisy, Daisy, how does your garden grow? Which that was from 2001: A Space Odyssey. Shelley, get your mind out of the gutter.
That's what we're talking about. Hal and
AI.
Sorry, Dave, I can't do that.
So
and yes.
If you're ever using ChatGPT,
because somebody answered the incorrect answer and we just ran with it.
You do know if you're ever using ChatGPT and it starts singing to you, Daisy, Daisy, how does your garden grow? And you happen to be orbiting Jupiter, you need to jettison that AI immediately.
All right, I guess.
Look, they shot the film in the same set where they shot the moon landing. Everybody knows this.
Is there a badge in Boy Scouts for that or something?
I can't believe nobody got this. Nobody's even coming close to what book this is.
Are you kidding me?
I thought this would be the easiest question in the world. I honestly thought it'd be the easiest question in the world.
All right, it's the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh my gosh! Hang on. David the Stoic came with a pretty controversial comment here. This might be the most controversial comment of the show. Even more controversial than Elon Musk's comments. Stanley Kubrick is not greater than Christopher Nolan. Ooh. What do you feel about that, David? I'm a Kubrick fan. I like Nolan. He's okay. I think he's overrated, in my opinion. I think as far as modern directors go, he's fine. He's no Taika Waititi.
All right. Yeah. So I just watched Oppenheimer the other day. I bought it on Vudu and watched it. And it was I was on my phone most of the time. It wasn't hard to follow. There wasn't a lot of stuff that pulled me into the show. But his work on Batman was great.
Yeah, but was it art? Would you call it art? Look, let's reframe this.
It redefined the Batman genre. So yes.
So let's reframe this. Okay, so he said Stanley Kubrick is not as great as Christopher Nolan. Let's reframe it. Are we talking about film as art or film as pure entertainment? Because I agree with you there. If you're talking about just an entertaining film,
those are very different things.
Right.
Yes, I agree.
If I want to go and eat popcorn, I'm going to see Christopher Nolan. If I want to watch something that's going to stimulate me mentally, I'm going to watch Kubrick.
Yes. Well, okay. What about The Prestige?
It was.
What about
The Prestige? Here's Prestige. I'm going to tell you what The Prestige was. The Prestige was that goth kid in high school who tried way too hard to get people to like him and look weird. At the same time, when somebody looks at him funny, that he says, "Hey, what are you looking at? What are you looking at me? Because you're dressed all in black, wearing black lipstick. That's why I'm looking at you weird." He's trying too hard, and in cases like The Prestige.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I thought The Prestige was that was okay. So I was grasping at straws for something that crossed that Nolan did that really kind of pulled your mind into the episodes or into the what's the word I'm looking for? I'm gonna call it the world, into the world of whatever movie it is.
But I did like.
So I was fishing for one.
But as far as artsy
the one.
films, I did like Oppenheimer. In fact, I do actually have a tramp stamp of "I Am Become Death, Destroyer of Worlds." Take that for what you will. Devin Ross says, "Wait, did I just mix up 2001: Space Odyssey with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?" Yes, you did,
yes,
Devin.
You did. Yes, you did.
For that, you might lose a
you
point.
Have lost the game.
You might lose a point because of that.
And your wife is divorcing you tomorrow. This is unacceptable.
He says, "I'm not drinking anymore."
Oh, no.
Fair enough.
Let's see. So yeah, you know what? I would give you that. So I need to.
So you're gonna give what? My amazing contribution to the conversation about art versus entertainment, because look, I think there's distinction there.
I believe so too, and you would have to be able to argue a point to say one is better than the other. All right, Dave, I don't know if I like this guy anymore. I mean, he's really got some good zingers.
He's making us think too much for people who drink.
He's making us think. I like it. Actually, I do like it. This is the kind of guy I could drink a bourbon with, smoke a good. I
agree.
M81 cigar. Ooh.
Hey, David, let's take a trip down to San Antonio.
Liga Privada number 9. That's the cigar we need to be smoking while we're talking to this guy. That's a cigar.
Good
yes.
one.
Anyway, yes, it is. They're delicious.
I might buy a monocle and smoke my pipe.
So I don't remember what it was. Okay, so I remembered. The wife came into my office and sat down in this chair and kind of looked around. I was like, "Wow, your office is so big." I'm like, "What are you getting at?" She's like, "Well, you said something about moving." I'm like, "What we put in here? Just a little sitting room, put a TV up and take the TV out of there and make that a living room over there, or a sitting room, make this a den and put the TV in here." And she's like, "No, I just moved my office down here." And I'm like, "What would we do with your office upstairs?" And Noah goes, "We'd have 2 guest bedrooms." And I said, "And that's why people think I have a monocle collection."
Right. Well, it's right above one of your multiple wine cellars and your 12-car garage.
I have no wine cellars. Only have a 3-car garage.
Only.
And it's 2-car garage and a 1-car garage, which I'm going to reconvert to a wood shop.
Look, I have no comments.
But so out of the Kubrick videos, what is your number 1?
Eyes Wide Shut, clearly. I'm kidding. That was actually the worst one ever.
Are you screwing with me? I mean, I remember that movie. There were a lot of boobies in it, so I liked that movie back in 1999. But there are better movies.
I'd say
2001. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, West Carnahan.
I'll be here all week. Try the veal.
I'll be here all week.
No, you know what? I actually do like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm a huge fan of science fiction. If you haven't guessed, I'm a huge nerd. I like Arthur C. Clarke. Was an all-time genius. I would say 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Which was the author, by the way. We didn't ever answer that, but that's the author of the book we were talking about.
No,
Arthur C. Clarke.
The book of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Arthur C. Clarke is not the author of the other book.
Not.
Here's a great question. Here's the next question.
That's a great question.
Devin Ross probably knows this.
Yeah.
Who wrote the book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Who wrote it?
That's a good.
That's it. I think it's
off my head here. I can't think of it. I would have said Arthur C. Clarke.
Arthur C. Clarke. You know what? I think the actual author would love that you said that. Funny thing.
Probably.
He actually wrote a few episodes of Doctor Who, classic Doctor Who.
Oh, good Doctor Who.
Good Doctor Who. Oh, I'm talking Tom Baker Doctor Who. The guy with the scarf, the guy who made the iconic Doctor Who
2000.
book.
Oh, Jesus, David, you're killing me, man. Killing me.
2001 versus Interstellar.
Okay. All right.
I could have a whole conversation about
Shelley.
this. Shelley says,
"Are you a Hemingway fan?" Okay, I actually, This is not right. This is not right. I'm drunk too
That's
much
funny.
bourbon to be talking
I
about
love
Ernest
Hemingway. I think Hemingway's a great author.
Yes.
Tragic end to a brilliant life.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, a few of them went that way though. Put Dave's comment back up there.
2001 versus Interstellar. I think Interstellar had better physics. Had better physics.
The science behind Interstellar.
Yeah, that was next level. I agree with that.
Is next level. The quantum mechanics that they break down.
No, the science
inside of Interstellar is insane.
The science, as far as modern quantum physics goes, was spot on. But I think for
quantum mechanics,
for pure storytelling, I still got to go 2001. It's just me. Interstellar, I think, was convoluted in certain ways. I still hold my reservations about what's his face?
Theatrical storyline got in the way of the science in Interstellar. Hey, Anna Calendar's watching, which means John may be pretending to be her, so watch the comments.
So I actually kind of feel slightly the opposite to what you just said.
Really?
You said the storytelling got in the way of the physics. I feel like the physics was so spot on, they wanted to make a movie that was scientifically accurate, and they sacrificed good storytelling to include proper physics.
So I feel that the filler that they put in, I would have rather it been. I can't.
I think the nonlinear elements were. I think the science drove the story, but I think the story took a back seat to the science. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
In my opinion.
So I would have so there I'm trying to find the guy's name here.
And so for Anna Calendar, everybody who just joined us, Michio Kaku is who you're looking for.
Michio Kaku. So between him and let's put some pizzazz on it and get Neil.
Now look, don't get me started. No, don't even bring up Neil deGrasse Tyson. Do not mention Neil deGrasse Tyson.
If you're talking about astrophysics, if you're talking about astrophysics,
he's a popcorn scientist.
That's fine. That's fine, but you need somebody that's got some pizzazz to it.
No.
Have you ever listened to Michio talk? Come on, man.
Michio is great. I think he plays to the audience a little more than he should. Michio Kaku is great. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Who's the guy who did the science behind Doctor Who?
What?
There was an episode that was done in London's Royal Academy.
Oh,
in the Christmas special.
Brian something.
Yeah.
Is it Brian? Not Brian Cox. Is it Brian Cox?
Oh, it might be Brian Cox. Yeah, hold on a second.
I know my scientist. So Neil deGrasse Tyson is the science guy of scientists. He's not. No. So Shelley Webb.
He's not the guy you want for.
But Michio Kaku's great. I think he's.
It's Brian Cox.
Brian Cox.
Okay, so take out. I'm not getting rid of Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I'm adding Brian Cox to the mix. Now you give me those three guys telling me the story of Interstellar. And I'm not going to get up if I don't care if I haven't pissed in 2 days. I'm not getting up to take a leak during that show.
No, look, you bring up a great point. If Michio Kaku, forget Neil deGrasse Tyson, he can GFY. Neil, if
we want Pluto back, bitch.
Yeah, right. Come on, I'm making a T-shirt that says Pluto's gone. Will always be a planet.
Yourself.
Pluto, right? So if you got Michio Kaku and Brian Cox in a room talking about Interstellar, I'd rather watch that than the actual movie.
Oh my God. You know what? I actually would.
Yeah, right?
I would actually. I absolutely would. So if you have never, if for those of you guys who are out there are not quite as nerdy as we are, and you kind of want to delve into a little bit of this, there's a show you can watch. It's called The Science Behind Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. And it's Brian Cox who did a special. It was on Christmas Day, which is a big thing to do in the Royal Academy, Royal Institute over in London. And it's in a very specific room, and it is just a phenomenal representation of some simplified explanation of some very complex things.
They really oversimplify things. But Brian Cox,
yes,
I can listen to him all day.
Brian Cox can do it. Yeah, every day, all day. Every day, all day.
So I'm catching up on some comments here. By the way, the question was, who wrote Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Shelley Webb said Ernest Hemingway, which I love that answer. Not accurate, but I love the answer. Dave the Stoic says, whole conversation talking about the 2001 versus Interstellar.
Well,
Devin
no,
Ross
no,
got it.
his
He says
his whole
Douglas
conversation.
Adams.
Oh yeah,
Douglas Adams was the answer. He
Douglas
says,
Adams was who came up with that?
Devin Ross, followed by
Devin did, okay.
100%. It's Brian Cox.
100%. Who? So Brian. Okay. So okay.
And
so
then
Devin knows what we're talking about.
And then
so Devin's a nerd. Nice.
I fully approve. And then David the Stoic says Murph.
What's Murph?
I don't get the reference.
I know that.
I was waiting for you. I don't get the reference. But
yeah,
look, it's probably.
Murph,
I have a feeling David the Stoic is probably way smarter than he deserves to be for this show. So it's probably a higher level reference that we just don't get.
Yeah, I'm missing here. I was thinking, what's the name of that robot thing from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I can't remember. I haven't read that book in.
Oh my god! I used to live
because
by those books.
I've been so focused on ancient Roman history.
You're literally the meme. You're literally the meme.
I am. The wife. She comes to me. She's out of random, and I've looked at some signet rings that I want to get and things. And this was way before she came to me. And she comes to me. She goes, "How often do you think about ancient Rome?" And I was like, "You just interrupted the thought about." I'm like,
really
"You
funny,
just
actually.
interrupted the thought about ancient Rome." To ask me how much I thought about ancient Rome. What the hell is going on?
He said from Interstellar. Yeah, I haven't memorized that movie to the point that I should have yet. You know what? I'm going to go back after this and watch Interstellar.
Oh.
So
yeah, well,
David
I'm not
the
going to do it
Stoic,
tonight.
you convinced me. I'm going to go rewatch that movie with newly opened eyes. So actually, that brings up a great question. What was this next question? What was the name of the robot in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? David, I think
I'm actually going to Google this one because I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
David, you
remember it?
David,
you know it?
I'll give a hint. You were close. I'll give a hint. You were very close. So that's the next question. What was the name of the robot in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Well, I just typed in the root. So.
And David says, I'm thinking about ancient Rome right now. Aren't we all, really, when it comes down to it?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, come on, man.
It's really funny that's a meme.
I'm thinking about saying, that's the other Dave. No, the other David was talking about and thinking about ancient Rome. Yes. So she literally interrupted me. She goes, "How often do you think about ancient Rome?" I'm like, You just interrupted me thinking about ancient Rome.
You literally interrupted me while I was thinking
what is going on. What are you going at? What's? Are you able to read my mind? Because that's not good. That's not going to be good for the relationship if you can read my mind.
Right. No, that would really put a damper on your.
Yes.
A lot of your activities. Shelley Webb says Rosie. Yeah. Rosie the robot was the Jetsons robot. You're close.
Yeah, Rosie's was Jetsons. So, yeah. Actually, we're not going to go there.
So this
if you do the age calculations between the age of Mrs. Jetson, what's her name, Jane, and George Jetson, if you actually take the history and find out how old she was, that's not good.
It's funny that we said that we named him David the Stoic. David the Stoic says Marcus Aurelius, the last great emperor, who is also one of the greatest Stoics of all time.
One of the greatest Stoics of all times.
Yeah.
So
it all comes back together. It's like the film Interstellar. Yes. It's all tied together.
Yes. We're plucking the right strings. It's fine.
It's true. It's an infinite library of books that lead nowhere. So I'll tell you what. If anybody can get the OG, he says, if anybody can get the name of the robot from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, bonus question is who voiced him in the most recent film? You know
Professor
this answer.
Professor Snape.
That's a big
Alan
hint.
Rickman.
That's big. David, that was a bonus question. You can't say it. David just gave away the bonus question. Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman was amazing.
Alan Rickman, man, gone before his time. Man.
He was made for that role. Both Snape and the robot. He was made for those roles.
Well, I mean, and Hans Gruber from Die Hard.
The best Christmas movie of all time.
I can't. I'm not going to flip the camera around and everything, but I've had a mantle decorated. My wife is all like, "Oh, look at our mantle! It's so beautiful." Don't care. Christmas tree's up. I haven't touched it. There's stuff on the banisters here. There's a Christmas village over in the dining hall, and all this stuff. And I don't care. Christmas does not start
until you watch Die Hard.
I watched Die Hard. After that, I'll get in the Christmas spirit, all the ho ho ho's you need. I want to buy the T-shirt that says ho ho ho. Now I have a machine gun.
Yippee-ki-yay, brother trucker.
Yep,
Oh man, so my kids
that works.
watch this show called Storybots, and
I thought you were saying they watched this show. I'm like, oh,
my kids watch this show
shenanigans.
that we're on. No, they watch a show called Storybots, and it's this thing with it's actually a pretty funny show. But there was this scene where there was a raindrop who was falling from a cloud, and it talks about like nature and science. It's actually a pretty intelligent show. And Weird Al Yankovic does the songs that are in the show. It's awesome. I love it.
Anything that involves Weird Al. Okay, so
but
for the longest time, you could not buy the Weird Al Yankovic movie with Daniel Radcliffe in it.
Yeah.
You couldn't buy it anywhere except I think it was Peacock or something. Now it's available. You can go to Vudu and buy it today.
Good to know. I haven't seen it yet. But so this raindrop is falling from this cloud, and it was talking about the science of the show was condensation, how rain is made. And as this raindrop is jumping down, he has these goggles on.
Dust.
And it's like saying it in slow motion. He goes, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother," and it stops for just a fraction of a second. He says, "Nature, yippee-ki-yay, mother nature," and it's one of those points where, like, if you don't know what he's going to say, you stop for a second. You're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
And then he says, "Nature." You're like, "Oh."
What that raindrop just say?
Dude, that is like my wife and I
my
current wife and I still watch that episode, and we're like, "Yeah, we love this. This is genius." Yippee-ki-yay, mother nature.
That works. Just yippee-ki-yay, mother nature.
All right, so nobody's gotten this. Nobody's gotten this answer. The name of the robot, I'm giving this to you guys,
Marvin.
is Marvin.
Marvin. I Googled it. I didn't remember. I Googled it.
So,
I did Google it.
Yeah, I live in those books. And
so we've moved over to the E.H. Taylor, by the way.
How is it?
I haven't drank it yet. Well, I mean, I've drank it before. I mean, because clearly it's almost holy moly. It's over halfway gone now.
Yeah, you've worked on that a little bit.
I've had a few times.
Devin Ross says he doesn't remember. Devin, we just gave you the answer, so I think I'm reading your comment a little bit after the fact. There's a delay, like I said. Between the time that we ask the question, you hear the question, and then type it back, there is a delay. So that's why we've been making so much banter between the questions.
Exactly. That's why we're doing it on. It seems like we don't have a plan. But we don't have a plan of what we're going to say. The plan is that we have to say something.
It's like a fine Stanley Kubrick movie. You don't know you don't think there's a plan because it's executed so well.
Yes. Yeah.
Not unlike
lander
the film
just comes
Interstellar.
down. Yeah, the lander just comes down, and then there's no dust thrown up off of the moon whatsoever.
Well, in fact, there were no stars when he filmed it. He really was short-sighted when he filmed that.
Well, I mean, the white black balance of the camera could have played an effect with that. If you know what we're talking about, you're laughing right now. If you don't know what we're talking about, you're going, "What the hell?"
Why do they keep talking about the moon landing? What's happening here? Yeah.
So, all right, I've got a bit of a review here. Yellowstone bourbon, 93%.
No,
so it's
Devin, we don't have a
46.5 is very good. I would recommend it. I really want to do it with a cigar.
Rating 1 to 10. What would you rate it? You can't say 7.
It's holy son of a
That makes
bitch.
it hard because most people say 7. It's a cop out.
So
because here's the thing: when you're rating here's my general thing.
6.99.
So I actually do a lot of pipe tobacco reviews. And my rating system is between 1 and 10, but you can't say 7 because 7's a cop-out. Here's the thing. When you say 7, it's like, yeah, I liked him, but I don't really want to dedicate myself too much. But if you eliminate 7, you're either, I love the guy,
what about,
or...
Can I go 7.5?
No decimal points.
Okay. All right. So then I'm going to go high then. I'm going to go 8.
8? Okay.
I'm going to go with an 8 on the bourbon. The Yellowstone, this is the Yellowstone Select. This is the... doesn't have an age on it. It's the Landmark edition is the one I have. And I've seen a lot of good things. I really want to try it with a cigar. I think it's going to be even better when I have a cigar with it. Mm-hmm. But all in all, it is a really good bourbon.
I'll have to look for that. That's awesome.
To lead with that, it was a great bourbon. I had 2 of them. I had 2.5 because I drank out of the Glencairn. I did the Glencairn, then I did 2 out of my my whiskey and wine bar from New York there. And then now I'm over to the E.H. Taylor, and I take a single drink completely dry of E.H. Taylor.
Okay.
And it is so amazingly good. that it just tells you when there are people out there that hunt for E.H. Taylor, they hunt for Blanton's, they hunt for Weller. There's a reason that we do that. It's because they are such great and drinkable bourbons. So, you know, I would definitely put E.H. Taylor higher, but Yellowstone, if you can find it, get it.
Okay.
If you can find it in your area, get it. It's definitely gonna be worth it. Hold on, my daughter's standing outside of my door here. So I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna need you to talk for a minute.
All right. So while David's talking to his daughter, so we're gonna get back to some more Dogecoin trivia. Okay. So, and we're almost running out of questions here. We've been going for a while. So, Dogecoin, before Elon Musk promoted it, was hovering around 0.25 cents. 0.25 cents, right? So, pretty small. This is when it was basically just used as a tip on Reddit. Then Elon Musk promoted it. It went up to about, what is that? What did I say? 74 cents. And
74 cents.
Right. What is its average right now? Right now, what is its average?
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah, right. So it's and you just give us a ballpark figure. It started out at like I said, 0.25 cents. Pretty low. 0.25 cents.
A quarter of a penny.
Right. It jumped up to about 74 cents and then nosedived. And for about the last year, it's been hovering right around this same level. Tell us what that average, right around that average is. David the Stoic says, this feels like bourbon porn. And David, we've actually talked about doing a show called Bourbon Chats.
The Bourbon Chats, yes.
So
yeah.
We should bring
So,
David the Stoic on to bring us back to earth on some of these topics.
Yeah. So I don't know if you drink bourbon or not, but one of the things about this show is normally at the beginning of the show, actually not normally, almost every time at the show, and like last week we were at the Hofbräu House, so but it's jazz. Last week we were at the Hofbräu House. Everybody knew what we were drinking. We were drinking Hofbräu House beer. But normally at the beginning of shows, we do go through what we're drinking throughout the evening. Mm-hmm. This show's a little more abnormal than most because of the trivia aspect of it.
Right.
And my daughter has walked back in. So Wes, keep talking.
All right. So Devin Ross says 10 cents. And look, so that's the first answer. We're accepting other answers. If you know, let us know. If not, don't Google it. David says cheat. I say don't cheat. He's not listening to me, so I can say whatever I want. David the Stoic says jazz. So David's the country. I'm the rock and roll. He'd disagree with that. And David the Stoic is the jazz in this musical mix-up sandwich.
I'm sorry, what?
Exactly. That was.
I just put the earpiece back in, and this one's in, but it's just for looks. It doesn't work.
You're completely deaf in that ear. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm completely deaf in this side, so I have no idea what was just said. All I heard was Dave the Stoic is the jazz
in this weird mixed-up sandwich. Well, I was talking. So yes. I was saying. You're the country. I'm the rock and roll. I said you disagree with that, and David the Stoic is the jazz in this mixed-up sandwich of a show.
I'm the metal. I broke. Okay. All right.
See, so I knew this was getting started. I knew it.
Oh yeah, just get me started. These are the Papa Hetz hardwired master cores, the heavy duty James Hetfield Metallica guitar strings. And I am shredding them. I've got another broken guitar string up here again. And it's the low E string, not the high E string, not the one that everybody else breaks. It's up to talk because I'm all like, so I think I might switch back. As much as I love James Hetfield, I think I might have to switch back to my standard Ernie Ball Super Slinkies because these just don't hold up. They break too fast.
You need Super Slinky for your balls. I get it. Look, I'm not judging.
Not my balls, my guitar.
He likes them Super Slinky. I'm not judging, David.
Hey, I don't know who's talking about balls, but it's the guitar strings, which by the way, was this a birthday gift or a Christmas gift? I think it was a birthday gift.
It was a birthday gift from like last year. Yeah.
So right behind me, hold on a second. I need to get on this.
It's on your right side.
I need this screen up over here. Where'd it go?
You can't see.
There we go. Okay.
There you go.
So if I lean this way, is that right? No, okay, so this side.
Yeah.
All right. So this right here was a birthday gift from West to me for last year's birthday, and that is a Fat Bottom Betty cigar box, which is a Drew
It's a great
Estate
cigar.
product, which is a great cigar. It's got a little flavoring to it, a little sweetness to it, great smoke, but it's what they call a Bo Diddley. So it's a guitar made out of a cigar box. And I've had it for a while, but it's been living at West's house. And I finally brought it back home. And it actually has electronics in it. So I've plugged up to my amp and played and had all kinds of good fun and good time with it. But I wanted to say thank you on the air. That was a wonderful, wonderful birthday gift. And, it now sits right behind me so we can have it on the show.
There you go. Well, happy birthday last year.
And to you, sir.
All
so
right.
what are we talking about? When I came back, there was something about some jazz sandwiches.
Jazz sandwiches and the price of Dogecoin, where it averages right now. So Devin Ross was the only one who gave an answer.
Have we got an answer about
Devin
that?
Ross, he's actually paying attention. He said 10 cents. It's been actually averaging. It was averaging about 6 up until about this week. So it was 6 cents up until about this week. And this week, it's right up around 9 cents. He's darn close. It's going up.
Okay, yeah. It's going up.
It's going to the moon.
To the moon.
Look,
Dogecoin to the moon.
Yeah, and the funny thing is you know what? We've actually mentioned the soft spots in Dogecoin, like what some of the problems are, why it really shouldn't take off. But dude, imagine. So here's the thing. So one of Elon Musk's plans with X is that he wants it to be the everything platform. He wants to be a payment platform. He wants it to be social media. He wants it to be social credit scoring, which, say what you want about that. I have my own opinions.
Yeah,
he wants it to be the everything.
Actually, I'm not going to say anything about that.
He wants it to be the what is the Chinese version? WeChat, something like that.
Yeah, WeChat, something like that.
Yeah, he wants it to be that the U.S. version of that, or the rest of the globe version of that. And as part of that, he wants to have payment systems built in. Now, imagine if the payment systems were managed by a specific cryptocurrency. Whatever cryptocurrency that happens to be is gonna go to the moon. If this app actually does what he wants it to do, imagine if he adopted Doge to do that. Holy moly.
Yeah, if he pings, whatever gets pinned to underline this.
I have a feeling if he did, he'd probably create his own crypto. But hypothetically, imagine if he did choose another. If he chose Doge, it would explode. People would be millionaires overnight.
Yeah. So now I got to reload so I had to reset this phone. And I need to put Robinhood back on here. Now I got to at least buy $1.
Now you got to buy some more Doge.
It doesn't need to be a lot. I got to buy at least $1 of Doge because from 9 cents to, let's say it goes to $5. I'll take that.
I'd be happy if it went to $1 at this point. I'm still holding on to the Doge I bought back in 2001.
So 2021.
2021. Sorry, I was 20 years off. I'm very old.
Where's the whippersnapper? No, so... Yeah. Okay. All right. What do we got next?
All righty.
1,000% is a
Devin
guess.
says, 1,000% a guess. You were close though, Devin. That's a good guess. That was a really good guess.
Yeah. I mean, so you said what? He said 10 cents.
He said 10 cents, and it's actually hovering right around 9 cents right now. So, darn close.
So Shelley Webb said Rosie. I'm not sure what that was about. We're catching up on comments here.
Rosie? Oh, Rosie. Remember that's the robot. That was the name of the robot. You're really far back in the comments.
So I'm like, well, wait, we talked about Marcus Aurelius.
David's drank like half a bottle of bourbon right now. So, David the Stoic, you got to remember, this is what happens about this time of the show when David's had about half a bottle of bourbon.
So I will remind you that I was further than this a few weeks ago when we were highlighting that. I don't even know what the name of it is, that device they did a product launch of, that they did such a terrible job of. And at the end of it, I am clattered, okay? I am clinically clattered. Clinically, that's a term. Clattered, that's also a term. And I was both of them, clinically clattered. And I came up with a position, a marketing strategy, a demographic, and a plan to push this product to a segment that would have been successful.
The human AI AI device, we'll call it. I don't remember what it was.
Thing, yes.
AI thingy.
Yeah, whatever it was. It didn't have apps. It had AI experiences. And completely
product launch
clattered.
in history.
It was terrible. The direction of the company is wrong. I mean, there's just so many missteps on this.
David.
And I identified it absolutely, I'm going to use the word again, clattered of how to do it better and right.
David, I thought of a whole new, very unique vertical that it could easily jump into. And if they actually dedicated time and energy to this vertical, it could take off overnight as it currently stands. Like, they wouldn't have to change a thing on this thing. Imagine people with special needs or quadriplegics.
Oh,
that could
okay.
be game-changing.
I'm gonna need a little bit more into
disabilities. Game-changing for people with disabilities. What you saying? David thinks I'm hilarious, by the way.
No. I don't want to say this because you mentioned special needs and quadriplegics, but walk me through it.
Ouch.
That is why I was like, I want you to walk me
David,
through this, but then I was like, oh my God, can I say that?
We're too close to Christmas for you to be making comments that are going to send you straight to hell.
Can I say that? No. I want to know. I want to understand the value proposition.
Well, okay, so David the Stoic has some great, amazing comments we're going to get to in a second. Shelley the Web, though, had to laugh at this one. No, you didn't. So, no, look. Imagine if you can't, for whatever reason, if you can't type, if you can't use a phone, if all you have is your voice, or even if your voice doesn't work very well, how are you going to communicate to the world? How are you going to? For people who can't use the phone, they can't look at their contacts, they can't call people.
So we could use a learning AI to utilize whatever functions of interaction you have,
right,
to create a method of communication.
Think about
it. All right.
Yeah,
I got you there.
Walk me through it.
I say this to so anybody who does business with me, it's literally my line.
With that vertical,
it's
I'm taking a crawl, walk, run approach.
Okay, mine was accidental. Well, okay, so I mean, I'm stone deaf on one side. Trust me, I would love to, and they've got these AI. I don't know if they're AI, but they've got these special what do they call them? Hearing aids. The hearing aids that are supposed to link one to the other and help me be able to, to utilize. So even earlier today, I'm sitting here at my stairs and I'm yelling upstairs to my daughter, and she's like, "I'm right here." I'm like, "I'm looking upstairs. I can't freaking see you." She's like, "No, I'm right here." And she was over on the couch.
she was to your left.
She was on my right-hand side, which is stone deaf. I can't hear a thing. And I'm just yelling upstairs like, "Hey, are you ready?" We had a choir thing, right? So if you have this, you have that, and all this stuff ready. She's like, "I'm right here." Like,
you're like the living embodiment of Clark Griswold, where he's screaming for Russ, and Russ is like, "I'm right here, Dad."
Yeah, right. Yeah, always. There are some times I'm like, "Niggas," well, she's right there. So I had to watch what I'm saying. But yeah, so mine was accidental. And I do say it all the time, like, walk me through this. I need to understand where you're coming from on it. But then you use quadriplegics on me. And well, it just didn't feel right to use my normal slang on trying to get directions to bring me into your thought bubble.
It's all about baby steps, David.
Okay. But from now on, I'm like, bring me into your thought bubble. Oh,
there
that doesn't sound.
You need some more. You need some more.
That doesn't sound pompous.
You need more modern officeisms, is what you need. So David the Stoic actually brings up some great comments back to Elon Musk. We were talking about Elon Musk having this all-in-one platform, and he says, "Isn't that too much power in one person's hands?" Yeah, totally. But that's also the great thing about the free market system. Additionally, that's also why he has investors, right? So he's the face of these companies, but he does have a fiduciary responsibility to his investors to make money back for them. What?
You got to drink. You said fiduciary.
Fiduciary. All right.
That's twice. Now you got to drink twice. And I said it, so you need to drink again.
Oh crap.
But yes, there is. So we never want to put too much power in any one person's hands. Holy crap!
But then he says, but then he turns it around and says, or should we put it turn it all over to one person who we want to put them on a pedestal? And I understand the facetious nature of that second comment. No, this much power shouldn't be in a
Yes.
single person's hands. But that's also why it's not in a single person's hands. If you look at X,
Yeah.
X, he came out and said, when he first took over Twitter, I'm not going to call it X, it's stupid. When he first took over Twitter, he said,
So I am on full tilt on board with West's assessment when we had a show. You guys can go back and watch, and you should, about him changing and rebranding to X from Twitter.
How much brand equity
about
lost?
how much
That's so
brand
dumb.
equity that was just laid to the and to people like me who own the frickin' domain Twittersphere.
Right. Now, what are you going to have?
That thing
X's
went to zero.
Exactly. Exactly.
Xsphere? I can't do Xsphere. Can I see your X's?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Hey, I X'd last night. No. What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was so good.
Yeah. I go and tell my
X'd
wife
all
about my
over.
X's. All right. So.
Yes. I was just talking to I was talking to people on my X last night.
Yeah. I was Xing.
Yes. That does sound like an app where you just put your X's in an app and you just select from them, and it's like a booty call for X's.
No. Hey, Nikki Leffingwell, if you're watching.
I think they make money.
So
She's watching.
So back to David the Stoic's first comment. Isn't that too much power in one person's hands? So yes, it kind of is, but it's also not all in his hands. Like I was saying, when he first took over Twitter, he came out and said he's a free speech absolutist. He wanted everybody to have all the free speech they wanted, all you can eat. You can say anything you want to anyone you want, as long as it's not illegal. There have to be legal standpoints. However,
Yeah.
after
precedent.
However,
yes,
he's owned Twitter for like more than a year now. He's rebranded to X. It's officially his baby. But we know there are still people banned who were banned back in 2020 for saying things that were politically incorrect. We know that people had their accounts banned, never got them back. We know there are still people being banned for specific political speech. So while I personally am a very staunch advocate of a lot of open free speech that a lot of people might disagree with, we know that's not necessarily the case because, although he says this, he's the front man. We know that's not actually happening on the back end because we know about shadow banning. We know it's still a real thing. We know about accounts being blocked. We know that's a real thing. So while, yes, it is too much power for one person to have, we know, although he's the front man and he makes it seem like he has all this power, he really kind of doesn't. In fact, even this whole GFY thing that he said to Disney, we know for a fact he will face
and has
behind closed doors at least repercussions on the business level for that.
So on this in this same path, he went to another podcast. He wasn't on ours. He was on another podcast that West finds extremely tantalizing, and smoked of the 420 variety.
Elon Musk is apparently a fan of the devil's lettuce, as
not necessarily, because he's come out afterwards because of that event,
and he did get into trouble for that too. He got into trouble for that.
He got into trouble for that, and had to do classes and not necessarily rehab, but make sure that he wasn't an addict and things of that nature.
Yeah, the companies made him do that. Although he's the front man, he's still an employee of these companies who have boards, who have investors. So, yeah.
So, but the answer is no, we don't want one person to have all the power. There's only one person ever that was flawless, and we killed him. So,
to quote Monty Python, we nailed him to a tree.
Yes. I mean,
so David, we're jumping from politics to religion. Is that what we're doing here?
Okay, he boosted anti-Semitism.
He boosted anti-Semitism. Well, so David the Stoic, we can have a whole conversation on that. So while some people would have viewed a couple of his tweets as anti-Semitic, he then did go and hang out with Benjamin Netanyahu for a few days. So do we think Benjamin Netanyahu would hang out with an actual anti-Semite? Maybe. Is Benjamin Netanyahu one of those famous anti-Semitic?
So I would go different ways. I don't know that boosted is the word I would use, but also if you are an advocate to free speech, that means you must be for the person who says 180 degrees of what you believe. So
you don't need to say it, but you need to allow it to be said. You don't need to say it, but you need for
don't
it
have
to
believe
allow
it.
to be allowed to be said.
Exactly. Somebody else who, if I say the sky is, oh shit, I can't do this because I don't know what 180 degrees from blue would be. Somebody out
The
there
sky
with an
is
art degree
magenta.
knows.
We'll say magenta.
So let's say 2 + 2 is 1, and somebody else says no, 2 + 2 is 4.
That's called
And you know,
Well, modern math would say it's
there
5.
has to be. Well, yeah, it doesn't matter what the modern math says. You have to be able to allow the person who completely disagrees with you at 180 degrees, out of phase with you. You have to be able to allow them the same availability of that speech.
Well,
it's tough.
It goes back
It is
to
tough. It is so hard to put yourself, and we're getting way too political on this.
Very political.
Way too political for what our show is.
David the Stoic, by the way, we don't normally talk about politics. We usually try really hard not to talk about politics. So that's the reason we're kind of like walking this delicate razor's edge
We're
here.
dancing around the outsides of this because we don't want to talk politics at all. But the idea of free speech is when you give a person free speech, that means you have to be not okay. You don't have to agree. We don't have to have any agreement whatsoever. But I have to be as comfortable with you being as free to say what you say that is 180 degrees out of phase with what I say. It can be the polar opposite, and it both has to be allowed to be spoken.
So I don't,
because somewhere in the middle is the truth.
So I have a comment that I don't think necessarily political, but I think it's societal. In that I think we as a society, as a people, have lost our ability to use one simple phrase that for a long time was just common sense. We can agree to disagree.
Is it sticks and stones?
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, sticks and stones, same thing. Yeah, we can agree to disagree.
At what point did that no longer become an option?
Yeah, and that's one of the things about people like Wes and I. So Wes and I, we don't agree on everything.
There are a few things we disagree on.
There are some things we disagree wildly on, but I 100% back West's ability or opinion, not necessarily back his opinion, but back his ability to have that opinion.
Right.
And he is scared as hell.
I don't agree with you, but I'd fight to the death for your right to say it.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing.
That used to be a thing.
West is like, I'll do anything I can to keep you from having the nuclear football.
That is, I've told you this. Yes, if you ever are the president of the world, I want to be your VP specifically so I can hide the nuclear football from you. David, so you've actually been there and held people back when they tell me they want to rip my head off and shit down the hole. You've held these people back, and I've still been out for drinks with these same people. We've lost our ability to say, I disagree with you, I have real problems with you, but you know what? I respect your right to say what you said. Yes, and it's tough for us sometimes to, for some people, I don't mind being challenged because there are so many other things that are tie us together. It's like in business. Failing is the only way to learn. Yes. Oh my God, yes. So I think I've mentioned this a couple times. I hired a guy and he kept coming to me for answers. Eventually one day I got fed up. I said, I need you to go out and screw up. I need you to go make a mistake. Go. I'm not going to answer. If something happens, I'm going to back you 100%. I don't care if I lose $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 on this deal. I don't care. I need you to go out and just do it. And if you make a mistake, that's even better. Because you are going to learn more from that mistake, one mistake, than you are going to learn from me in a year. Something's going to happen and allow you to fill yourself with all of these new scenarios that you're going to be able to look to in the future. So that when somebody comes into you and says, hey, I want this and this and this, and maybe they have a different opinion of this or that or the other, it doesn't matter. You're able to function and continue to move. I meet with people daily that have wildly different opinions from me, but I still interact with them and I still go through. I still go and do successful business with these people. And I think it's something like you said. I think we've lost that ability of I disagree with you, but I support your ability to be wrong. So David, so I support your ability to say what you say. I 100% support your how was it you worded it? It was perfect.
and it's something that's big.
I disagree with you,
I
but
don't
I
support
fight.
what you
I
say,
fight to
but
death for your right
yes.
to say it. So
Fight
that
to
was
death for
actually
your right
that was
to say it,
actually
exactly.
a thing that people from WW2, like soldiers who were actually in Europe fighting
Yes.
on the front lines, would come back and say to the hippies during the Vietnam era. I disagree with what you're saying, but I fight to the
What
death
you're
for your right
saying,
to say
but
it.
I fight to
So
the death for
speaking
your
of
right to say it.
WW2, David the Stoic brings our conversation to a whole new level. If you visit a concentration camp in Germany, you might have an enlightened perspective. So David the Stoic, I do have to tell you, I lived in Europe for a couple of years in high school, and I have visited concentration camps in Germany, and I do actually have a pretty, I think, hopefully educated perspective on this thing. And I don't think anything that Elon Musk has said. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm 100% wrong on this. And I'm willing to hang on, David. Hang on.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm willing
go ahead.
to accept that I'm wrong on this, but I don't believe that Elon Musk has said anything even remotely to the equivalent of anyone in a concentration camp in Germany. If he has, please let me know, because I would love to learn from my mistake there. But I don't believe that's the case. So I think we're taking things to a different level.
It's not necessarily that. I think it's really a revisit to his comment
the Germans,
about
we need to make this very clear. We need to make this very
power.
clear. We need to make this very clear, though. The Germans of the 1930s and early 40s were vastly mistaken on their world perspective. They did a lot of just purely evil things. I'm not somebody who is a strict black and white perspective person. I don't mean that in a racial way. I mean that in a philosophical way. I'm not a strictly black and white philosophical person, but the Germans did a lot of extremely purely evil things during those times. I don't believe that Elon Musk has said anything that lines up that far to that persuasion of etiquette, or however you might put that. I'm trying to use words that won't get me banned on Facebook and YouTube. I apologize. But
again, this has probably been the most political show we've ever done.
It is. Holy moly. Thanks, David the Stoic.
This is by far the most political show we've ever done.
Thanks, David the Stoic. And I am actually and this does get political. This does get incredibly political, and I probably will hear about this later. But I am a firm advocate of Israel and their people. So take that for how you will. But I don't believe that Benjamin Netanyahu would hang out with somebody who he thought was an anti-Semite. Maybe he was wrong. Maybe he was mistaken about what was said, and maybe I am too. I don't know.
To try to lighten this topic, I was in a
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy
once.
was a great book.
I was in a building once over in Central Ohio, looking at it was a Ferrari collection, and Sharon was actually in the building, and I had to get to a meeting with, of all people, I had at this one spot here. We're not going to say what the name was, but Sharon was in there, was former prime minister of another country, and I had to get off to a meeting with another rather prominent person as well, and they had to escort me out because this guy's there, and so they walked me out through all these back things and got me upstairs and finally got me out of the building. And now we can move on from this topic and on to something else.
So David the Stoic does say, "You're welcome. Thank you, Wes Chuck, for defending against the hate. Please visit Wansi." So, man, I wish we could.
Please visit what?
David the Stoic. I do have to apologize.
Oh, it's Wansi. Is Wansi like where he lives? Is Wansi where you live, bro?
I'm not sure what Wansi is. We'll have to Google that.
I'm
Google that while I'm saying this. I do have to apologize for the fact that we have to tiptoe around a lot of these things, not use certain words, because unfortunately algorithms are what they are, and they will ban and shadow ban just for using certain words, even if you're using them in the direction that these companies want you to go in. Use this word, you're going to have issues, and I apologize for that.
And the biggest thing is we really
why we try hard not to get political.
Politics, to not get into it here, and we've talked about it a lot. And from a business standpoint, you should not be in politics,
right?
Unless your business is
politics. don't get involved in politics, because no matter what side of the aisle you're on politically, you're alienating at least half your audience. At least half your audience at all times.
You're alienating. Yeah.
And then, even then, there's a segment within your audience who agrees with you, but they don't want to get political. So they're going to ignore you anyway because they don't want to take sides.
Yeah. So every time you make from a business standpoint, you're trying to start up, you're trying to do something. Now, there are some people who live in that niche. They know that they're going to be in that niche, and they say, hey, I'm going to be on this side or that side or this side or in the middle. They know that, and they can play that. But they also know going in that their market share size is limited to XYZ because they are in this sphere, triangle, bubble. They're in this bubble. All right. So they know that. We talked about the ice cream shop out of, is it Vermont or New Hampshire? It's Vermont. Ben & Jerry's.
Ben & Jerry's has got themselves into quite a pickle lately.
Yeah, so, but they live inside that bubble. They announced it. They brought it. That's part of their identity. So while they sell ice cream, politics is also rolled in with that. And there are going to be some people that say no, and they have accepted that. They know that they're going to operate their business under that understanding. It's when you're trying to start a business, which was the core purpose of this channel.
That was the original purpose of this channel,
their business.
Startups
is
and
to
small
get
business.
people to start their businesses. I've got Devin Ross here. His wife is the owner / founder / baker of Drown Me and Brownies. Drown Me and Brownies doesn't need to take a political stance.
Right.
But
That would be a huge mistake.
Yes, needs to sell brownies and cakes, and they look phenomenal. I'm probably going to buy one to have up here in New York.
We're going to have a Christmas party soon.
But I need to buy
some.
shipping. But yes, I just need to work out shipping for them. We've got dog treats, we've got cleaners, we've got a couple of other things. There are other people that look into this, and I've got a guy who's getting ready to open in Dallas, in the Dallas market, a cigar lounge. Mm-hmm. And he came to me, David, said, hey, David, I want somebody like you. Now, just so you guys know, this guy happens to be black. And I said to him, I was like, you need to go back and you need to listen to this interview with Denzel Washington. It's not about color, it's about culture. I said, don't look for a color of a person, look for the culture. You need a cigar person. So we set out on my back patio and we game planned and business planned for him how to put together a business proposal and how to do it to find the right people to promote his business. And now he's down there shopping for locations. Mm-hmm. He's looking for employees and going on and on and on about how to put it together. And I said, if you want to create a cigar world, put it in the cigar world. Take it out of the rest of the world and put it in cigars. Mm-hmm. And that's what he's doing. And he's like, Dave, that makes so much sense. I'm like, Denzel Washington's not a freaking idiot, man. He's pretty damn smart.
Well, it goes back to what you and I always talk about, understanding your audience. Understanding your customer avatar,
your audience,
and understanding your niche in the business world. That's why you need to niche down, find a specific niche, find your specific customer.
Yep. So we have a lot of people, and we have a lot of people that talk to us and work with us outside of. I mean, this show is the fun time. To be honest, to everybody, this show is the fun time.
Right.
It's when you contact us and you actually really want to get serious about certain things. If it's marketing or something, I'm sending it to West. If it's business management and development or sales, West is going to kick it over to me. And we work with them, and then we work with everybody, and we say, hey, this is how you sculpt this out. This is how you build it. And we will delve into your specific market to show you how to do it. And at no time, there has been no political advocates contact us. So when they do, we will let you know. If a Republican or a Democrat or a Green or I don't even know what other parties there are now, if they contact us, we'll let you know.
So there is actually a political advocacy marketing agency that I've worked with in the past. I'm not going to share their name right now, but David, we've talked about them in the past. We should actually contact them since next year's an election year. We should contact them, and without us choosing sides, without them choosing sides or anybody advocating for any specific person, we should talk about the business of politics with him if we can.
Yeah.
So
And
David,
you would be shocked.
let's make that happen for an upcoming show.
I believe so. I think it'd be great. And I think you'd be shocked about how similar the business of politics and business is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter whether you are a right side or left side or it doesn't matter where you're trying to do or where you're trying to gain. Your sell at that point, your closed sell at that point is a vote. And if you're on the right side, left side, down the middle, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. The business perspective is almost going to be identical to all of the other business principles there are.
Right. That's it. So, and it will be interesting to see, how they view success on certain campaigns, because you don't really know. Because here's the thing, right? When you have like a Black Friday sale, when you have a Black Friday sale, you have specific, bottom line goals you need to meet. You need to sell X number of units of this. You need to have, a black, not red line in your bottom line over here after this date, this and that. But in politics, you don't know. You have. Do you view a vote as a conversion, or do you view the final verdict as the conversion? And that's the result of the overall campaign. I don't know. Let's talk to those people and find out. I think that'd be a cool show.
That'd be great.
That'd be a really cool show.
See, you were talking about Black Friday, so I had to pull it up. So I had to pull up some data here real quick. So we set a record, but it was the 9.8 billion, and it was online sales. So that was 7.5% up from 2022.
Look, I do most of my shopping online. I know my current wife does.
I can tell you that I actually ended up in a store, a very popular store.
I refuse to shop on Black Friday.
Friday.
I won't do it.
The place was empty.
Most people most people don't want to deal with it. Because here's the problem, right? You're not really finding that many great deals that day. And most stores will price match to Black Friday.
Oh no, it's got even better, because I actually was at Macy's. I was at Macy's last night. And we were looking for my son a bow tie, and it had a kerchief with it as well, right? MSRP listed from Tommy Hilfiger was like $58. Like, all right. I mean, it's a little high for a bow tie kerchief. It's acceptable. So we scan it. Bleep, bleep. It comes up $69.
Prices went up on Black Friday in a lot of places.
The prices went up, and the videos that have been out there on them have been brutal. Oh, absolutely brutal.
Look, I don't know if it needs to be if you can chalk this up to inflation or what, but I found that out too. I actually saved some of my shopping until Black Friday for my kids, and I did notice some of the prices were actually better before Black Friday, and they went up specifically. Like, you could see the price that day immediately went up by like $10 for some of the things I was looking at for my kid, and I was like, and that was the problem. Is then the cost benefit breaks in, like hits you in the face. Like, well, crap! If prices are going up, I need to buy right now, because they might keep going up between now and Christmas, which they probably will.
Yep.
Which makes me regret not buying a week ago. But at the same time, I'm like, well, crap! I don't want to buy on Black Friday, but I kind of have to now, because I might pay $10 more next week. Yeah.
So me being the salesman that I am, I have sold a couple of Corvettes
from your modest collection that's parked right above your monocle, your underground monocle.
And I've sold a couple of motorcycles. And I haven't bought a boat, which I'm thinking about buying next year. It all depends on how the house renovation goes.
Hashtag boat life.
Hashtag boat life. Anyway, everybody tells you don't buy a boat in the summer. That's the most expensive time. Buy a boat in the winter. The people want to get rid of it. Buy a motorcycle in the winter. People want to get rid of it. So what did I do? I priced my Corvettes and my motorcycle at a higher price than what I would have gotten in the summer.
Sure.
I priced them higher in the winter.
Yeah.
And I got bites and sells on them almost instantly.
Yeah, that's it. Totally.
people, it's
That's
all about
what retailers
perception. So
do.
if you guys want to talk about, if you want to talk about sales and how to really
Mm-hmm.
close something and get your margin there, because on none of these did I lose money.
Right, and that's
None
the
of
funny
them.
thing. That's one of the reasons I hate whenever you see these like big box stores and they have these massive sales on these big high ticket items like TVs and mattresses and appliances in your house, and they'll say, "Oh, $400 off this plus this free item over here." Most people don't think about it this way. Maybe I'm weird, but I do. What was the markup on this that they can mark it down this much and they're still turning a profit?
Yep.
Like that's what happens in my brain.
Absolutely.
Like, what do you actually?
Absolutely.
Like, what?
So that's
your
it.
markup
That's
the
always,
rest.
that's
So you're
always
telling
my
me
thing.
your markup the rest of the year is that high? You're kind of ripping people
Yep.
off, and now I don't want to shop with you. That's what happens in my
Yep.
brain.
That's what it tells me. That's what it tells me. So we won't go into JCPenney, although JCPenney should be a case study for us on one of the shows.
JCPenney,
you know,
man.
how
Yeah.
JCPenney came in and said, and I don't remember what CEO it was, we're not going to have any more sales. It's all going to be this.
Yeah, what
It's
happened
all
to
gonna be
JCPenney after that?
And well, it wasn't good. It wasn't good because had the CEO done that and invested in customer service
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, they would have put Macy's out of business.
You know what? They totally could have. But here's the
But
funny thing.
they didn't do that.
So here's the funny thing. You know, I mentioned a minute ago that my brain automatically goes to, so what's your markup the rest of the year? But at the same time,
Yes.
you and I both know that products sell better when you mark the price higher. Right? Because
we have actually stated that.
And here's the it's a paradox, right? You think people would buy more if it's priced lower. We found people in the industry know this. People don't want the cheap item. They want to pay more because they feel like it's a higher quality item. So they feel like it's more of an investment. They're willing to pay for an investment. They're not willing to pay for this thing that's bottom of the line over here. Some people will,
Yes.
but more people, your bottom line will benefit you if you price it higher. There's a book that I love. This is a book that I read probably twice a year. This is my all-time favorite book. It's called Influence by Robert Cialdini. And one of the stories in there is how there was this a friend of his owned this shop, and they had this turquoise jewelry. And turquoise is dirt cheap. I mean, you pick the rocks up off the ground, you polish them, you put them in some cheap metal, you call it silver, and that's it. It costs next to nothing.
Yeah.
So this lady who had this shop had all this turquoise jewelry. She couldn't move. This stuff would not sell. She kept marking it down, could not sell it. She talked to Robert Cialdini. He's like, you know what? Here's what you do. You charge 5 times more for the exact same item. You put it under glass. You don't leave it out for people to see it. You put it under glass, charge 5 times more for it. Okay? People will buy the stuff. And guess what? Within days of her marking up all this stuff and putting it under glass, she sold all of it. She couldn't keep it in stock. And she was charging more for the exact same stuff that was just marked down a week ago. I don't know what you're showing me, David.
I was just showing the people Influence. You can go on Amazon, pick up Influence.
At least get the audio.
Where this case study is. The paperback $16.30. Freaking get it.
So it's all about the psychology of marketing. And here's the thing, even if you don't care about marketing, just the psychology part of it is brilliant. He has another story about and this is dark, but it's incredibly fascinating, where he talks about the rise in people unliving themselves after a big story in the news or celebrity unlives themselves. There's a huge statistical jump within weeks of people unliving themselves because people see this thing in the news. Psychologically, it influences them to say, oh, this is okay to do now, and they do it. And it goes in and talks about all the psychology of why this happens. It talks about the psychology of making a sale and how to change people's minds without them realizing you're doing it. All the tips and tricks that actual retailers do to get you to do different things. This book just breaks it down. It's a genius book. I love it. Influenced by Robert Cialdini. Robert, I know you're watching the show. Come on the show, and we'll totally talk about your book.
PhD.
And it's been through like 25 different editions by
Rob.
now. It's he keeps updating it. So it's if you buy the most updated version, it's genius. I love it. I kind of want to buy a bunch of them and just give them out as Christmas gifts.
This one says July 7th, 1905.
No, he is not that old. He's actually still alive and well and doing TED Talks.
His name is Robert Caldini Dracula.
Exactly. If he wrote the book in 1905, he's aging incredibly well.
Yeah. So I don't know what Amazon.
But it is on like the 25th edition right now, so he has been writing it for a while. Not quite that long.
There we go. All right. Yeah. So it says July 7th, 1905.
That's pretty funny.
So Amazon, good job. Yeah, good job here. There are a couple books, and we do not actually recommend a lot of books on the show. Influence is one of them, and 1,000 True Fans or Raving Fans.
Yeah, those are
those are your three. You read those three books and really try to pull the essence out of them. They're going to give you. They're going to give you at least enough questions that as you're answering them, that you're going to be able to create an ideology of yourself of how you want to present your product, your business, or your service.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those three books are going to be really good reading for anybody. And if you had to do two, you can do Influence and open parenthesis, 1,000 True Fans or Raving Fans, close parentheses, if you want to put it in Boolean algebra.
Well, Raving Fans and 1,000 True Fans are basically the same book.
Same book.
I was going to say Influence
book.
and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but that's just me.
I was going to say Lord of the Rings. And what's the book from Joanne Burton? The Last Dragon Lord.
There you go. Well, look, you should basically own that IP by now. That's a different story, though, which we should totally cover.
I actually do own the Last Dragon Lord.
So we've been going for about 2.5 hours. We will do a whole show on the Last Dragon Lord.
Holy cow! My bourbon is that tells me about 2.5 hours.
We will do a whole show on IP and your partial ownership of the Last Dragon Lord, very, very soon.
Yes.
And so David, do we announce who the winner is and let them know and or reach out to them? How do you want to do this?
I gotta tell you,
we didn't really think this far ahead.
I think Devin owns it.
Devin really took the correct answers approach.
I think Devin takes it, man. I think that's it. Devin, before we can do anything, we need you to send us a shirt size
and your address.
I think Devin wins.
Devin did take this. David, you know what, David the Stoic, I don't think you're necessarily a Elon Musk fan or a GFY person, but if you like an Elon Musk GFY t-shirt, David the Stoic, you brought us some great conversation. We'll send you a t-shirt
as well.
as well.
You know what? Shelley Webb as well. All three of them. I say
Shelley
we give
Webb,
all three.
David the Stoic, and Devin Ross. If you can send us your shirt size and your address, we will get those shirts right off to you. Also,
we're going to send you the shirts.
Gray or white? I'm going to show the shirts again.
Yeah, all right. We're going to show shirts again.
If I have it handy.
Before then, I'm going to drink some more bourbon.
There it is. Okay.
Is people Shelley? Are you still watching? Holy moly, we are drunk as can be at this point.
But here's the GFY Elon Musk T-shirt, which I think they're pretty cool. I kind of like it. So we got the Elon Musk portrait here. We got the GFY on the back is the Underdog Journey logo.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Which I'm a fan. I'm a little biased.
That's good stuff right there.
But David, our shirts are going to be here on the 13th, so we should have those pretty soon.
So Dave says XLs. Shelley says Steve might fight me for the shirt. Who the hell is Steve?
Yes, Shelley. Who's Steve?
Wait.
Are you jealous?
Shelley, are you making up names the way that I do because I don't remember names? If so, we're definitely going to send her a shirt.
David the Stoic is the real MVP, he says. David the Stoic, if you'd like a GFY t-shirt, send us your shirt size. And you know what? Don't put your address in the comments. DM David or I.
Yeah, don't put your address here.
DM David
DM
or I
us.
with your address, and we'll get that off to you. XL, he says. XL.
David the Stoic.
Okay.
Yeah, he's had his shirt size there. David, don't put it in the comments, but send us over your address so we can ship it out to you. Shelly, same thing. Although I think we actually might have your address.
You know what? I do have Shelly's.
sounds
I do
a
have
little
Shelly's address. Shelly,
That
I have your
actually sounds
address
a little
from.
creepy, but we do have your address from Dog Treats.
Yeah, I have your address from Underdog Plus, peanut butter bones. Go to underdogplus.com and pick up yours today. These make great Christmas gifts for your pup. 20% of all profits go to local pet rescues. The rest of the money doesn't go into my pocket. Ask my current wife; she'll tell you it goes right back into the company, so we can make more treats for more pups who need them. So go to underdogplus.com, pick up some treats.
Yeah, and more importantly of all of that, your dog is going to freaking go nuts.
Dogs go bonkers for these things. You think we're exaggerating because we're biased? It's actually true. These things are that good.
Bonkers. Yeah. My dog comes. So I've called my dog Fat Dog here recently because of all the treats she's been getting. All because every time she sees me now, because I travel a lot, every time she sees me, she's like, "Oh, this guy's gonna give me treats. I'm gonna get treats." So she'll come over and just try to butter me up. And just like my wife, they're nice to me when they want something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then, we're married. We know how this works. We know how the math on this works.
We're not new.
You're like, oh, if somebody comes up and they're nice to you, that's because you need to pay some money or something. That's the way that works. So yeah, and so these treats are absolutely insane. You got to get on there. You got to get them. Order them up. Everybody, not West. You're West.
I'm West.
Devin,
Shelly,
and David, send a comment over to just private message, the Underdog Journey. We'll get these shirts out to you guys.
Yep.
Put your sizes in there. We'll send them out to you.
We will make it happen. All right, David, it's been a great show. And
I've drank a ton of bourbon. Holy moly. So
for some reason, every time we do a trivia show, we drink a lot more than usual. I don't know what happens.
So I don't know if anybody watched the trivia show between West and I.
No,
but
that
was brutal.
That next day was rough, man.
Okay, so we made a deal. I was like, all right, whoever loses
I drank like 3/4 of a brand new bottle of bourbon.
Yeah,
and I should not have.
And I drank about you
drank just as much easily.
Was insane. I know there was an official winner of that show, but really neither one of us.
Nobody
won.
was the winner of that show.
Nobody was no winners of that show. But until next week, I will be on a cruise, so my interaction will be low because I'll be on cruise.
And I'm guessing your connectivity might be spotty. So if you can't make it, look, I can run solo. But everybody watching and listening, I apologize in advance. So next week, we'll see what happens.
It'll be a great time. We're going to we'll be out there. We're going to have fun. And then we will, I don't know, whatever the topic of the show is next week. And I will make sure I have plenty of alcohol to keep myself libated.
As you do. All right. So,
as you do.
I've been Wes. This guy's been David. We've been the Underdog Journey, and you have been an amazing audience. And we will see you guys next time.
It's a great audience. Dave, thanks for joining us. We can't wait to have you back on here again.
We'll join you in Austin for a cigar soon. San Antonio.
Yes.
Sorry, San Antonio for a cigar soon.
San Antonio.
Laters.
And at Phoenix, we get a Fox. We'll see you.
funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods.